When they come, and they will, they'll come for you.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Well, I thought the beast had wandered off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat, concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion, talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive, talking reason for it, I got locomotive. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex and a friend's tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit, I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist, try not to change but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one sign, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat-seeking missiles of hits, but other than me, I see no heat exists. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature Iraq. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, not a word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name. Saw it ahead of time, knew that I'd get to my losing myself in the view to some window pane. I swear I'm all about peace, I'm a positive person. Wasn't always like that, you know it took me some learning. They asked me how I push a positive light, how I keep my composure through internal fights when addressing the mic through these dark nights. Where the Bruce Wayne, what a trick be. Here's some truth that I'll let free, Bruce Banner of rap if you ask me. When my will to win and the track meet, the secret is I'm always angry. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green.
Evening, y'all. Good to see you guys here. Thanks for being here. You know, we had to run an audible on this. I was fixing to talk all night about all kinds of things, and then I got a reminder. Yo, the NBA draft is tonight. So I got to actually put it on my other monitor so I can see what's going on. Look, I don't like to hear what these guys are talking about, so I'm actually turning them down. We'll just keep talking. But they tell me 8 Eastern. It doesn't look like it's started yet. I don't know why. I'm on ESPN Plus. I can go on my YouTube TV and fix it. Give me a second here. But how's everybody doing tonight? First thing I wanted to talk about before we even get into the NBA draft, though, is a shout out to Coach Prime. He's slated to go under the needle. He's going to get some surgery done tomorrow. Guys, his toes ain't coming back, bro. Somebody said they're going to sew on some toes so he can start walking again. That's not happening, but it is pretty scary. Apparently, he's got a blood clot in his groin up in his thigh area. You know, when you have problems with your feet, the worst case scenario is you lose a foot. But as you start moving up the leg, you get above the knee, now we're going to lose a knee. Now we're going to lose a whole damn shin. That's scary. Gets to your thigh. Now we start thinking about femoral arteries. Now we start getting a little worried, legitimately worried about certain aspects. So might want to look into that. Give me a second here. I'm pulling up my YouTube TV on my other monitor. Yes, I do pay for YouTube TV. It's what I do. I am Rico. That means rich in Spanish. I pay for everything. I don't download anything. I have to take polygraphs sometimes, and I got to tell the truth. Let me turn down the audio on this thing, but it's on a commercial right now, so I'll leave it up. I can't show you guys the stream or else it'll get copyright hit. Even though it's on ABC, they don't like it, and I don't want to get hit for it. So I'm going to leave up this window here so you guys can see who's picked and when they're picked. But in the meantime, and in between picks, we can talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about, y'all. And that's where you guys come in. Excuse me for a second. Let me try to look at the right camera, as it looks like I'm looking everywhere. So we got the draft on now. It's on the other monitor. I'm going to actually drag it over here to my monitor. You guys won't be able to see it. It'll be behind me. So we'll be straight with that. Let's go back to this one. There we go. And we're all fixed. Now you guys can't see it. You can't hear it. And we're good to go. back to what I wanted to talk about. First and foremost, let's get to you guys greet me for a second. No, let me finish talking about what's trending today. So Coach Prime's going under the knife, the needle. I hope he does well. I hope he's okay and he can get back into the fight. Everybody's having this speculation. Well, who's going to be the head coach if he's out? Who's going to be the head coach if he's out? You guys, he's going under surgery, and while he's gone, Sean Lewis can run a whole damn program. Sean Lewis was just a head coach at a group of 5 school at Kent State. He knows how to run a program. Sean Lewis can cover down for coach while he's gone. Now, Chad Kelly cannot. Chad Kelly, the defensive coordinator, no, he's a secondary guy. He's a defensive coordinator at best. He's never been a head coach anywhere. I wouldn't trust him to run the whole show. But right now, if Coach Prime's down and out for a month or two, who cares? Coach Prime is not the guy calling the plays. He's not the X's and O's guy at all. That's Sean Lewis, right? Coach Prime's he's served his purpose. He served his purpose. He went out and recruited and got players. He got everybody in the building. Now it's time to work. All Coach Prime is here to do is get them in the building. Hold people accountable for their actions, sure. Give them a speech and inspire them, whatever. What I see is a guy in Sean Lewis who's got to go out there and make it. That's why you hire people with head coaching experience to be your coordinators, right? That's just how it's done. Shout out to them. They're ready. All right, the draft is on. I see this guy at the podium. He looks like he has cancer. And don't tell me anything else. I believe Adam Silver has cancer. He just hasn't announced it to the world. You know, they try to convince me Magic had AIDS, but Magic defeated AIDS. He's undefeated. Magic's the greatest basketball player of all time. HIV couldn't beat him, bro. Okay? So now I'm looking at Adam Silver, and he just might die from anything. He looks like he has no immune system. Every time I see him on the podium, I just think, oh, he looks exhausted, like a vegan. He looks like he can barely stand. I think the podium's holding him up. I swear to you, stop leaning on it. It's real. Now, if you're a fan and you're at the NBA draft, I got to worry about you. I'm looking at fans at the NBA draft. Why are you there? It is one round, and half the guys won't make it in the league. Half the guys won't be on the team. They won't. It's crazy. Now, it's 2 rounds, to be honest. But my point is that only the first round is a guaranteed contract. Second round, you're not guaranteed a thing. You're not guaranteed. Now, you can get a contract, but it's not guaranteed. First rounders, they're guaranteed. Look at this. They're sitting at lunch tables, bro, in fold-out plastic chairs with golden balls. Pause. They're out here with golden balls, and I'm sure he's reading a script. How would you like to be the commissioner of a major league, of a major athletic league, and you can't memorize your opening remarks? How? Just go up there and just wing it. Just start talking, bruh. You're the commissioner. Let's go. I don't understand it. Hey, shout out to ESPN. They're laying off a bunch of people, and the story just came out. If I can pull it up for you guys. The story just came out. They plan, all the layoffs plan on getting hired by Barstool Sports. ESPN employees are leaving for Barstool Sports amid company layoffs. Y'all, you guys see that over here on the side here? Holy smokes. How are they not hiring me? Why don't I have a job? Barstool, I'm letting you know now. You're hiring the wrong people. I don't know what you're hiring them for, but you're hiring the wrong people. The fact you're going to keep ignoring me is insane. Shout out to every recruiting service out there who's getting stomped out by Rico Knows. Shout out to every news service who doesn't have it. They don't wake up every morning ready to grind. Barstool, listen to me. I'm a force multiplier, bruh. I'm built for this. I'm just letting you know. That's real. Every day we talk, everybody goes, hey, Ryan, Rico, somebody's going to swoop you up. Somebody's going to swoop you up. All right. Well, let me know. Shout out to FanDuel. DraftKings, you want to stay in the hunt? Let me know. MGM, you want to get in the hunt? Let me know. Every single one of you dudes, you want a piece of this? Let me know. Find me a producer. Get me a graphics overlay guy. Let me know. But one thing you can't replace and you can't duplicate, me. Real talk. Copy paste. Shout out to my twin brother. Shout out to my twin brother. All right. So when we start talking about what's trending, we're on a commercial break right now for the draft. So let me go back to what's trending over here. I'll drag it in the window for you guys. But what in the world's going on? They trade on the evening of the draft, or on the day of the draft. They trade CP3. CP3 is going to the Warriors. If you don't know who CP3 is, Chris Paul is going to the Warriors. First off, somebody wrote me immediately and said, Chris Paul's going to play point. Chris Paul's playing point, and Steph is going to be the 2. I don't care. Keep Chris Paul off the court. He's not a good player anymore. He's old. He needs to roll. Roll out. I think he's overpaid. Get one of these young guys in the draft. Go get somebody. I'm serious. Who's that guy that played who's that guy? I got terrible memory right now. Let me go look for him real quick. There's a guy I'm interested in. Who is it? The guy that's going to go is it Vassar? Sasser. Marcus Sasser. Go get Marcus Sasser. Get him on the court. I would rather get Marcus Sasser out of Houston. I like that kid. Go get him and let Steph stay on point. And tell Chris Paul to retire, bro. Tell Chris Paul to retire. So that trade happened, though. Shout out to the NBA. They went ahead and traded. And Jordan Poole, Mr. 20 points himself, Jordan Poole put up 20 points a game last year, and he's going to be playing for the Wizards, taking over for Bill's spot. Jordan Poole, man, congratulations. You're going to a team where you don't get punched in the face at practice. Who wants to play at Golden State? They punch people in the face and justify it, and they praise it. Who wants to get punched in the face? I'm not playing with that. Draymond Green, I'm not playing with Draymond Green. Punches people in the face, kicks them in the nuts. That's a guy that doesn't know. I don't know what's going on. And speaking of somebody who will punch you in the face and kick you in the nuts, shout out to Bill Romanowski. Bill Romanowski. If you're going to be a terrible human being, Bill Romanowski, if you're going to be one of the worst people on the planet Earth, the least you can do is pay your taxes. That's the least you can do. Pay your taxes. And Bill Romanowski doesn't do that. Apparently, he and his wife have failed to pay their taxes, their back taxes, $15.3 million. I got news for you guys. He didn't make that much in the NFL. His last year, he made like $2 or $4 million. Maybe, I think it might have been 4. He didn't make much. He's made a lot of money off of his, his nutrition company, Nutrition 53, like he's TB12, Nutrition 53 for his jersey number, made a ton of money. But he didn't pay income tax from 1998. Was it 98 or 99? It's 9 years. It's something crazy. 98. Yep, 98 to 07. This man didn't pay income taxes from 98 to 07. How? I'm paying my income tax every year, bro, and I'll be damned. Pay your taxes, bro. I got to get paid. They didn't tell you? I've been in the military over 20 years. My paycheck is from taxpayers' money. Your money, Bill Romanowski. And then he says, well, I used steroids. I used HGH. Yeah, we know, bro. We saw the back knee, bro. You're walking around with acne on your back. That's not natural. Get out. You're gross. You're the grossest human I've seen, bro. What he did to J.J. Stokes, unforgivable. What he did to J.J. Stokes will never be forgiven. What he did to, who else? Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, he was dirty. Bill Romanowski, don't pay your taxes. And then when you find out what they were using the money for, plastic surgery appointments, day spas, paying for their adult children's rent and food. They were using company accounts to hide their income. So the IRS didn't know how much money they were making. They didn't know if they had any income. Well, then the hell with it, bro. Seize their assets. Yet another star who doesn't have enough liquid on him to pay their bills. Shout out Michael Jordan. Shout out Michael Jordan. Yes. Doesn't have enough money to pay his bills. Somebody tried to lecture me on this. By the way, guys, Whataburger just went first in the draft. This wimpy Whataburger. Victor Wimpy Waterberger from France just winning the draft. 19 years old, 7'5", 227 pounds. You know what's crazy is there's a printout of the mock draft on let me pull this up so you guys can see this. There's a printout of the mock draft right here on ESPN, and when you look at every single player, look at their age. They write their age like it's a stat. They write their age like it's points per game. His age is 19.4. What the hell is that? What month is that? 40% of the year? Are you telling me, what's that? 50% is 6 months. It's June. Is his birthday like May? Birthday in April? What is this? And then you go to each guy. They got their age with a decimal point. Their age with a decimal point. Are these infants? Are they going around saying I'm 19 months old? Why are their ages here in decimal points? It doesn't make any sense. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Who calculated this? Who? Oh, man, we can't draft him. He's 22.3 years age, like old. There's my boy, Grady Dick. I like Dick. This boy right here, 19.5 years old. Whatever happened, 19 and a half. Just say 19, bro. I'm halfway to 20. But this is absurd that we're tracking their age by decimal. And it's one of the most pertinent things. It's ahead of everything else. Explain that to me. Explain this to me. Why did ESPN do this? I'm reading, I'm going, oh, do I really give a shit that this guy's 20.3 years old? Is that why he dropped in the draft? These decimals. I can't get points per game. Read it. Read it right here. Noah Clowney. I'm reading all of Noah Clowney. It tells me everything about Noah Clowney right here, and not once does it give me his points per game. Not a stat in the world up in here. There's not a single stat right there in that paragraph, but his age is the only numerical value they gave him, 18.9. Come on, bro. I read this whole thing in preparation for the draft. I'm like, yo, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to quote stats. I'm going to quote statistics of greatness, tendencies. I've gone through how many of these. Somebody just wrote this with no knowledge of how these guys play. You can read them. Look, I'm going to do you guys a favor. We're going to start from pick number 30, and we're going to scroll back up, and I want you to look for a description on one of these players with a percentage or a stat. Look at Ben Shepherd right there. 41% three-pointers. There's one. Now let's go. Any stats in here? Marcus Sasser, any stats? None. No stats. Whitehead, no stat. They don't even talk about how they performed. This one just says he's 7'7", 251 pounds, and has a 9'4" standing reach. But there are no statistics. Could you imagine an NFL mock draft where they don't talk about how many yards they rushed for, threw for, passed, nothing? They don't even talk about their 40 times. Could you imagine? I'm showing it. This is insane. If you're on TikTok, you can't see this. You got to go to YouTube and watch the damn live stream and look at the graphics on the screen. I'm showing you every one of these descriptions by ESPN has no stats, no information about anything except somebody describing what these guys look like. I'm serious. This is a book with no pictures. This is gross. I'm going through it, man. How far do we get before we see any? There had to be somebody out there who said, hey, don't put in there that he averaged 20 points a game in college. Don't put in there that he averaged, like, don't tell us anything about these players. You go through the whole thing. Where is it? I'm going right now. I've gone through every single person, guys. You can see it on the screen. You can see it for yourself. ESPN had the nerve to do no background information on their production. No production reference whatsoever on any of these descriptions. The closest you get to any production on any of these is right there. Victor Wimpy Waterberger, ended up playing 62 games. That's all it ever says, 62 games. Well, what did he do in the 62 games? Well, we don't know. What did he do in the 62 games? Oh, I don't know. Did he score any points? Did he get any blocks? Did he get any rebounds? Did he average a double-double? Oh, we don't have that in here. We don't talk about that. It says he led the league in points, rebounds, and blocks, and they provide no metrics, no numbers. Imagine that. No numbers. You just, hey, he led the league in rushing. Well, how much? He led them in rushing. Don't worry about it. He led France in rebounds and points. We don't know how much. And it's not just one. It's all of them. All of these. But the only stat they have, look at this. It goes into the second round. The only stat they got on every guy is what? His age. This is gross. This is gross. Who wrote this? Who wrote it? There it is. Jonathan Givony. Jonathan Givony is an NBA draft expert and the founder and co-owner of DraftExpress.com, a private scouting and analytics service used by the NBA, NCAA. Okay, you guys got bamboozled, bruh. You guys are embarrassing. ESPN, somebody just straight up gypped you. You didn't hit me up. I could have did better work than this in 5 hours. I don't know how much time Jonathan Givony had, but he's the founder and co-owner, meaning he's the only guy that works for the damn place. And he put together some paragraphs about the NBA draft prospects, and he never once looked into any of their production. Not a one of them. There's nothing in here about production. There's no numbers. Is this a chic thing? Is this cool? The only number, their height. It's gross. I'm sorry, not their height, their age. Half these, hold on, let me correct myself. He doesn't have the height on half these guys. Who goes second overall? Brandon Miller, the murderer. He didn't murder anyone, but I think he blocked it with his car. Brandon Miller, I want to be clear, contributed to the death of a woman. That's a fact. Shout out to Alabama. But somebody tell me about this ESPN draft list right here, bro. Let me know if this is sufficient. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments on YouTube. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm out of pocket. I'm going to get to the chat. In between picks on commercial breaks. I promise. But give me a break, dude. They went through and gave me ages like it's Little League World Series, and we're worried if they're lying on their birth certificates. It's not the Little League World Series. It's the NBA. I don't care how old they are. Maybe that's justification for why you drafted a guy, but I don't need their age in decimals. Shout out to Danny Almonte. I'm going to make a TikTok about him. I'm going to write it down so everybody can learn about Danny Almonte. I know a lot of these young kids don't even know how good Danny Almonte was. Y'all don't know about a perfect game in Little League World Series. Danny Almonte was the truth. I just thought about that right now. I owe you guys that. Some of y'all don't get the reference. My goodness. That'll be one hell of a story to tell. Shout out to TikTok. If you're watching me, move over to YouTube. I don't read those comments down there. Listen to my moderators. All right, we'll keep that minimized. We'll keep it moving. Shout out to Bill Romanowski, though. This guy didn't pay his taxes. $15 million owed. He don't even have it. He don't have it. He's got to sell his assets, like MJ. Sell your assets, buddy. All right, hey, R.I.P. R.I.P. The submarine guys. Listen, they died instantly, okay? If they were as low as they say they were and they were descending, when it gave way, they died instantly. They weren't running out of oxygen. They were crushed in a millisecond at an insane rate. They all defecated, bruh. They're gone. Do stupid things, win stupid prizes. Oh, Rico, you can't say that. Somebody lost their life. Rest in peace. No, you can just live a normal life. You don't have to go do shit for clicks. You don't have to go do something adventurous and crazy just for clicks. You don't have to do it. I don't like setup videos. I don't like prank videos. I don't like any of that fake shit. I don't like any of it. I don't find it humorous or funny. People send them to me all the time on TikTok. They're like, oh, Rico, look at this. Oh, my God, it's so amazing. Look what happened. And I watched the video one time, and I'm like, oh, they knew a camera was there? Who the hell's recording this? Why? What is the motive for going to see a sunken ship? Did you not watch the movie? Did you have to go find Jack and Rose? Like, what are we doing? Why? It's cold as hell. You're bored. Well, you got in a tube with some other dudes you didn't know, and you all got crushed to death. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. Shout out to the 19-year-old who never saw a great day in his life. He doesn't even know. Let me tell you something, guys. Some of the best days of my life, they all happened after being 19 years old. Let me tell you. You haven't lived life if you die at 19. You missed out on a lot of great shit. Best moments of my life are all after 19 years old. You haven't lived if you died at 19. I don't care. It's dumb. It's dumb. Speaking of dumb, what a transition. Will Wade gets suspended 10 games. Look, if you don't know who Will Wade is, he used to be the head coach at LSU men's college basketball. Will Wade was caught paying players. Straight up, out of his own pocket, he's paying players, and he got caught on wiretap saying something outrageous. He said, and I quote, I can't even curse, but he said, we need to make an offer. We need to make a hell of an offer. We need to make, a strong A offer, something like this. Let me find the quote in here. Yeah, a strong A offer. We need to make a strong A offer. Okay, a strong donkey offer. And he was talking about paying players. You're allowed to pay players. Oh, here we go. ESPN's talking about the gun incident with Brandon Miller. Man, put him in a couch in front of me, bruh. Brandon Miller, you want the juice? You want the smoke? Let's do an interview. Let's do an interview. You blocked the car, bruh. You ain't tough. Out here dodging the law. Out here playing like you don't know what happened. Why? Because you're the golden ticket? Nah. I can't trust anybody at Bama. Not making decisions like that. But shout out to LSU. Their coach gets fired. He's now hired at McNeese State. He's at McNeese State, y'all. And they don't care. They want to win. They got themselves a hell of a coach. He's willing to do anything to win. If you ain't cheating, you're not trying. I read that 100 times a day in my comments. Well, Wade here, he's only getting 10-game suspension. If players didn't make money, if this was 5 years ago, he's gone. He's fired. He's gone for a year, all this stuff. But now that players get paid, it's not a big deal. But it was at the time. Cheating's still cheating. All right, next pick. We're going to get this little dude, Scoot. Let's go, Scoot. There he is. What is he wearing? What is Scoot wearing? That has never been in style, not in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. What is Scoot wearing? Bro, you know these videos last forever. Scoot Henderson, a G League guard from the G League Ignite, 6'2", 195. No, he's not 19 years old. Stop it. ESPN, don't do that. Use your scouting service. Tell us how old he really is. Put it on TV for the rest of us to see. Scoot is 19.3 years old. 19.3. I don't know what he did in the league. I don't know how many points he averaged. I don't know how well he was playing in the G League, but he's 19.3 years old. I know I got that right. It's accurate as hell. To the day. Give me a break. Give me a break. So what's up? So he shows up and he's the new Dame Lillard. Can he rap? Can he rap, bruh? He can't even rap. No, I'm cool with Scoot Henderson. He should have went second overall ahead of the criminal. Let's see. Look at this, guys. We're going to get a bunch of G League dudes coming up. Overtime Elite. Overtime Elite. You know when I saw these team names, Overtime Elite, you know what I thought of immediately? The basketball tournament. If you guys know anything about the basketball tournament, that's what I thought of. The basketball tournament. The one, what is it? Single loss, single elimination basketball tournament. You just show up with your 5 guys. The winner takes $1 million or something like that. Because it's Overseas Elite that plays in that. They do really well, Overseas Elite. But Overtime Elite, we'll see what happens. They're coming up soon. Let me get back to this. I'm going to give a shout out. I'm actually going to make a video on this. I'm going to give a shout out to this kid, Jonathan Eccles. He's actually from Heard County here in Georgia. Now, he transferred. It doesn't say it in this story here because they don't know what they're talking about. But in the story, he transferred to IMG his junior year. But before that, he played at Heard County. And when he played at Heard County, oh, my God, he was so good on tape. So good on tape. But he looked to me like a better defensive end than he did tight end, right? So this kid is a complete beast, Jonathan Eccles, 4-star tight end, and he's committed to Tennessee. And last year, Tennessee's offensive coordinator gets hired to go be the new head coach at South Florida. So obviously, as soon as he leaves, the commitment's off. Everybody's like, oh my God, he's not going to Tennessee. The commitment's off because he was committed to the offensive coordinator. But Josh Heupel's going to fix it, right? So what happens is the tight ends coach has to go out there and work some magic. And they think they're going to lose this guy, Jonathan Eccles, to South Florida because of the relationship. Alex Golesh here, he's the head coach of South Florida. They didn't lose, bruh. It just got announced. Hey, shout out to Ash for finally playing one of her squeaky toys. But it just got announced that he's shutting down his recruitment. Jonathan Eccles here, shutting down his recruitment, and he's committed to Tennessee. I want to applaud the young man for sticking to his initial, verbal commitment, and hopefully he enrolls and plays at Tennessee. We'll see. My goodness. Hey, yo, this man got some dimes with him. He's got some dimes. Hold up now. His suit is terrible, but some of these girls look beautiful. What up, Scoot? Scoot's doing all right, but is he wearing boots? Scoot is wearing boots. First, he's a rhinestone cowboy. Who does he think he is? Shout out to John Travolta. This guy is out here in some boots. Trailblazers. All I wanted him to see is in one of them big old hats, the big head hats. That's what I wanted to see him in. I'm just saying. Oh, my God, he looks terrible. His outfit looks crazy, bro. His outfit looks crazy. At least, is that mom next to him? Mom's got to be proud. Who's interviewing mom? Who's holding the mic? Who is this? Is this dad? This better be family. He's got his arm around her. Somebody let me know if this is family or not. We're going to wait for this one. I'm going to get to the chat, and I'm going to wait for this one till the end here. I'll talk about the USFL passing leaders here in a bit. Let me minimize this. Let me see if this keeps updating this list for those of you who are watching. There you go. Shout out to Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, and let's go over to the questions, comments, and concerns. Willie Bobo says first, yo, hey, I'm going to let you guys know now. Willie Bobo hit the button. Willie Bobo hit the button and wrote a message an hour before the show. Willie Bobo's beating you guys an hour before the show. Just letting you know. I'm letting you know. You go, Willie Bobo. What up, John Bryan? Good to see you again. Two names? Two names? He ain't 2 Chainz. He's 2 names. Any hope for us Missouri fans? Noah Marker. Yes, there's a ton of hope for you Missouri fans. You got a new offensive coordinator? You got a new quarterback? Luther Burden's going to be your star receiver, hopefully. And you play in the SEC. It's a cakewalk. You guys should do what you do. Rico Knows on the Joe Budden show left the panel speechless. Let me tell you. Joe Budden, if you guys didn't see it, Joe Budden on his podcast today, shout out to him, episode 637, at the 1 hour, 13-minute mark, Joe Budden comes out. They're all discussing Michael Jordan selling of the team, and then Joe Budden plays one of my TikToks. Pulls out his phone, connects it to the speaker, and plays it for everybody. And as they're all sitting there, just watch everybody on the panel of the Joe Budden show. I don't know all their names. Just watch them. They just freeze in their tracks. They get quiet in a hurry. And then shout out to Joe Budden. He hits his little button, the Joe Budden, because he don't want somebody to steal the clip. He doesn't want somebody to clip it and steal it from the show without getting credit to his show and me. Somebody already took the clip and put it on World Star and didn't give me any credit for it. I'm not tagged anywhere on it. You can't see my name on the video. They put me on World Star and they give me no credit for it. I ain't mad at them. Rico knows. But Joe Budden, he did a little different. In the description, he did what he did. Oh, by the way, the fourth pick is in. Amen Thompson out of Overtime Elite. Amen Thompson, fourth pick is in. Point guard, headed to the Rockets. Amen. If you're saying prayers, go for it. I would tell you everything about him, but I don't know his stats. I don't know his production. Neither does ESPN. They hired the wrong company. And shout out to the NBA for taking 5 minutes for their picks. If you guys didn't know, their first round picks are 5-minute clock. Love it. Get this shit done by 10 and still hit the club. It's Thursday. By the way, I have tomorrow off from work. I don't go to work. This is what I do for work, right? But the Army called me today and said, Rico, we have tomorrow off. I said, okay. What's going on? They said, oh, we haven't had a DUI in 100 days. The brigade hasn't had a DUI in 100 days, so we got a day off. Shout out to the colonel, bruh. And shout out to my unit for not having a DUI in 100 days. If you guys are in the Army, you know what this means. We didn't have a DUI for 100 days. Awesome stuff. So there we go. Look at this man. He ain't got no hotties with him. He ain't got all that swag. Hey, but I like his suit. It's clean. It's timeless. Amen Thompson. Your suit is timeless. You won't look silly years from now. I just hope he looks a little frail, man. He looks a little thin. Most NBA guys do. That's why you can beat him up in a fight, man. They don't have any hand-eye coordination. They're just kind of lanky. They don't know where their hands are going. They don't know where they're going. That's why they can never connect where they're trying to aim. You ever seen NBA guys fight? It's gross. Oh, look at that blue hair, though. Is she a Smurf? They got a girl in there with blue hair? What is that? She's a Smurf, bro. She's a Smurf. And that ain't her real hair color. She did that. She didn't come out born like that. She did that for the draft. Shout out to Grandma in all pink. Grandma ain't playing with you. Grandma said, we going to Sizzler. We going to Sizzler. Okay. Hit that like button. It helps. But yeah, we left the Joe Budden panel flabbergasted. I keep saying we. It was all me. Left the Joe Budden panel flabbergasted. I'm letting you know. They didn't have nothing to say. And then they said, damn, if that happened, if that's true, sheesh. I'll be watching high school football on GPB Sports, then switch over to Southern Section in California every Friday. Been doing it for years now. Can't wait. There we go. Shout out to Willie Bobo. If you guys didn't know what he's saying, he's playing the time zone game. It's what I do in high school football. You can go to gpb.org, right? gpb.org, Georgia Public Broadcasting, and you can see some of the best high school football in the entire country every single Friday for free. You don't got to pay for cable. You ain't got to do nothing. You go to gpb.org, you go to their sports tab, and they show you one game in Georgia that is top-notch. You wonder where Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Caleb Downs. You wonder where all these great, Justice Haynes. Where did all these great players come from? Georgia. Georgia. It's real. And you can watch all the games. You can watch Buford and Dylan Raiola, the number one quarterback in the country next year. So he's saying he's watching a game. He's on the West Coast. So he's watching a game. It starts over here at 7. He's watching it at 4. And then after the game's over, he's switching to the Southern Section, the number one section in the country, and he's watching modern-day St. John Bosco, watching, Servite, the Trinity League. So that's pretty awesome. You can watch Lincoln against De La Salle. It's good stuff, man. I almost read my own comment. Do you guys know what, guys, the Nuggets are looking for drafting this year? Well, who they're looking to draft this year is irrelevant, and the reason it's irrelevant is because they don't get to pick till the 28th pick in the first round. And it's going to be Marcus Sasser, right? And then their next pick is in the second round, like really quick, and then they're done. They got 2 picks, and I don't think they can improve their team with this draft. I don't think by the time they pick, there's anybody that's going to improve that team from this draft. Not happening. So that at that point, you just take some flyers on some foreigners. You just take some flyers on some foreigners. And for you young fans who don't know what I mean by a flyer, a flyer is people used to hand out flyers on the street. Used to be stacks of flyers. They still do this in New York, by the way, at the strip clubs and the comedy clubs. But used to just hand out flyers. So somebody knows about your party. You just hand out these flyers. And so as you're walking, every now and then, you just take a flyer. Maybe it'll interest you. Maybe it won't. You just take a flyer. Oh, maybe I'll hit this up or not. That's what it means by take a flyer on somebody. You just randomly take a flyer. It ain't no big thing. That's what you do. Okay? Just so you know. Hey, Rico, what up? Indecisive Angel, how's your back doing? What if they don't pick Whataburger? LMAO. You know, Deuce Barrington, if they didn't pick Whataburger, the world would implode. They would go crazy. How do you feel about the Bill trade, Rico? The Bill trade to Phoenix. I don't feel any type of way about it. I don't think Bradley Bill's that good. I don't think it's even a noteworthy trade. I think it's an okay player for an aging Hall of Famer name. I think all it is a salary dump is what it was. That's what I think, is a salary dump. You don't want to be invested with a Hall of Fame guy who's not worth any money, so you let it go. Arkansas in this mother effer. What up, Mello? You from Arkansas? Okay, I've been to Arkansas once. I drove through Memphis on my way to Dallas. So I went from Memphis, I went through Arkansas, Texarkana, something like that. I stayed at a hotel in Arkansas. Tornado was coming. Jumped in my car and kept driving. They said, tornado's coming in 2 hours. I didn't stick around. I literally checked out of the hotel and drove for 2 more hours. 120 miles the other way. I was out. And then got another hotel. Azor Thompson is the next pick. 5th overall from Overtime Elite, shooting guard. So we get the point guard and the shooting guard from Overtime Elite. Azor Thompson. I know nothing about him except for his age. It's a decimal point. We got Lightning and Thunder tonight, by the way, you guys. Thoughts on Kari Mans, transferred to Colorado from Maine, representing the CAA. Is that the Continental Athletic Association? Let me know. Hunter Parente. I talked about Kari Mans many times. Actually, Kari Mans, I made a video about him. So what I want to do, I want to get my views up. So what I'd like you to do is go to my Colorado playlist on either app. So if you go to TikTok, at the very top of my homepage, there's a bunch of playlists. Scroll around until you find Colorado. Or on YouTube, there's a playlist called Colorado. Find it and look for Kari Mans, because I've talked about him. Right? From Maine. He's a rotational defensive lineman. I wish him well. I think he's a good player. Looks grown. Coach Prime is the ultimate motivator. There you go. I am glad I got the Disney bundle. Everybody needs it. Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney together. I didn't know I had it until I logged in to watch the draft. There you go. And you know what's crazy? I only use ESPN Plus. I've never even used Hulu or Disney. I just don't even use them. I got them. I don't use them. I don't even have time. I'm too busy doing my sports thing. I think Silver has what Magic was supposed to have. Probably. There's the Thompson. Okay, so they're brothers. Amen Thompson and Azor Thompson are brothers. The Thompson brothers. They're from California. Oh, snap. You know what they remind me of? Jaron and Jerron Collins. Is one of them living an alternative lifestyle? I see that's Dad. Okay, Dad's the coach. He had brothers ready to go. Hey, man, all these brothers. The Ball brothers, the Rico brothers, and the Thompsons. I like it. All right, I didn't realize. I just thought, hey, man, he named his son Amen, and the next dude was Azor, S-R. Somebody should have told me. That was worth a video. I could have made a TikTok video about the two brothers. Two brothers with a better dad than he ain't like LeVar Ball. He ain't doing that LeVar Ball stuff. I might make a video about them tomorrow. I'm late. But I got some ideas now. Azor and Amen. I'll make a video about him in a heartbeat. I'll make it happen. Think Scoop can go 1. Apparently not. He went 3, and he was dressed like a 3-year-old. Is Billy Napier a good recruiter? I have my doubts, but his 2024 class is looking solid, albeit early. So most of the classes look pretty solid, but then it fell apart the last 2 weeks. That happened this year, right? Just as you went into National Letter of Intent Day, it fell apart. It looks good, and then it falls apart. I think what Billy Napier is going to have trouble doing, he's getting verbal commits before they go out on the field and look terrible. They better win their games. They better win at least 8 games, or people are not going to want to go to that school. These kids are going to change their mind. They're fickle, man. What's more inconsistent than an 18-year-old male. Ask women in this world. Ask women in this world who are dating men. Ask women in this world who are dating men and ask them, are guys really consistent between the ages of like 16 and 24? Do they stick to their commitments? Are they faithful and loyal? They aren't. They change their mind every day, bruh. They got the priorities all messed up. That's how it is for a male between those age ranges. So these kids are no different. They're going to change their mind, especially if you're terrible. CP3 is coming off the bench and might help close games out if they go small. Marlowe, sounds good. Sounds good. They should have traded Poole last year with Wiseman. Hey, speaking of Wiseman, I think Memphis has been cheating since they had Wiseman. Poole was terrible coming off the bench. He shined when Steph was out. No D, pause, and a turnover machine. All right, Marlowe. We know he's a turnover machine. We know he fell apart in the playoffs. That's why he only averaged 10 points a game. He can't play defense. Situationally, he's a liability in half-court defense, hence timeouts when the game is on the line, when you're playing half-court and inbounding the ball. We know what it is. I don't talk basketball, but I can if you want. Anthony Black, the 6th pick in the draft. They took him because his last name is Black. Shooting guard out of Arkansas, Anthony Black. Let's see if I know anything about Anthony Black. What did I put in my notes? Let me see here. Anthony Black going 6. Hey, this guy's recruiting service. He had the whole draft right. He's better than Mel Kiper at guessing who's going somewhere, but that's no secret, really. Basketball's a lot easier than the NFL. Per usual, because there's less positions. Per usual, the Magic have been a tricky team for rivals to read at the spot, but Black and Azur Thompson appear to be the two strongest candidates, considering Orlando's lack of size in the backcourt and emphasis on the perimeter players. Black fits the mold. Why don't I know what Black did at Arkansas? Why do I only know that Black is 19.4 years old? What is wrong with people? Give me more than that. Spurs pick Wimpy Wimby. Spurs pick Wimpy Wimby. Some of us tax-paying citizens are behind you all the way. Thank you, Willie Bobo. The problem is you don't pay enough taxes to pay me. Romanowski does. You feel me? Like when a guy tells me, shut up, man, those are my tax dollars. I'm like, no, they're not. Your tax dollars were over there on the road. You don't have enough tax dollars to pay for everything. Your tax dollars don't pay for everything. It only pays for a couple things. You could think it gets stretched each and every way, but it doesn't. You don't make enough to have an impact. Romanowski? $15 million? He could pay me, bruh. He could pay my salary for the next 10 years. Come on now. Pay your damn taxes, dude. I ain't worried about your money, Willie Bobo, but I appreciate you having my back. Frenchie is going to get bullied by them bigs. We calling him Frenchie now? When I hear Frenchie, I think of the movie Grease. Shout out to Frenchie. I think of Grease. Yeah. Oh, Sandy. Yep. Summer loving. Had me a blast. That's what I think of, y'all. Shout out to Grease. Kenny Lofton was straight Zach Randolph bullying him. I'm confused. Are we talking about Kenny Lofton, a baseball player? That's the only Kenny Lofton I know. Is there another Kenny Lofton? Somebody tell me. I don't know all this stuff. These ESPN graphics will be the end of me. Oh, isn't it hard to read? It's ABC. They thought it would be nifty to do all this stuff. They have the wrong font. They have the wrong everything. You're talking about on the draft itself, right? It's ABC who did these drafts. It looks terrible. It's small. It's hard to read. How big of a TV you got to have? You can't read this on your phone. I don't think so. I'm just letting you know. You can't read this on your phone. It's probably 19 years and 4 months. 19.4? That don't sound right. That don't sound right. NBA had an issue with foreign players falsifying age. I guess it's important now. No. Baseball has an issue with falsifying age. If you didn't know about those Dominicans, all the South American countries, if they're over the age of 16, they don't want them in their system. They're not signing them to minor league contracts. So if you're over 16, you're over the hill. So they just went around and started saying dudes were 19 and 16. If you ask me, I'm telling you right now, Albert Pujols doesn't know how old he is. Albert Pujols is a full-blown liar. Because Albert Pujols showed up to the league playing lights out. and was hitting home run after home run. And then he had this catastrophic drop-off after getting his $300 million or whatever it was. But it's because Albert Pujols was a lot older than he said he was. That's what I think. I think they lied on his birth certificate. Albert Pujols' career trajectory did not go the way it should. He just dropped off out of nowhere because he's a hell of a lot older than he really is. Conspiracy theory number 5 for me. I might make a video on Albert Pujols' real age. I'm doing this. Shout out to Danny Almonte. NBA is different from football. NBA drafts are based on potential. We know this. NBA also drafts players from different countries. Stats don't matter as a different league has different difficulty. We know this, Chris. We know. Let me know his free throw percentage, bro. Don't tell me free throws are different in every single country. It's the same distance. It's all alone. There's no defense. Just tell me his free throw percentage. Just let me know. I just need to know. Let me know if he averaged 10 blocks a game. Football's different in every conference. You rush for 2,000 yards in the MAC. It ain't like rushing for 2,000 yards in the SEC. I get it. We can apply logic. Shout out to Bilal Koulibaly. Bilal Koulibaly from France. Small forward. Just got drafted by Indiana. He's going to French Lick, Indiana. France. Shout out to Larry Bird's hometown. Bilal Koulibaly, blah, blah, blah. It's too many syllables for me. Too many weird letters. That's what they do in France. It looks like brie cheese. Man, I can't stand brie cheese. I'm letting you know now. And I couldn't stand France. I went to Paris, and it just smelled like BO everywhere. It smelled like deodorant was an option. That's what it smelled like when I went to Paris. I went to Paris, France. It smelled like deodorant was an option, not a necessity. I promise you. It was gross. I don't want to go back. Hope to God the Bulls trade up. You want people trading up in the draft? Where are the Bulls? They're not even in the first round. They don't want to draft in the first round. You know why? They don't want any guaranteed contracts. They don't have to pay one of these guys. You don't want them trading up. If they're not in the first round, it's by choice. They don't want any of these guys. Blazers are drafting without trading their pick to get Dame some help. Dame is going to keep being in a rebuilding team if he don't leave Portland. Hey, man. Do you want to be the all-time great, or do you want to just roll out? I don't know. I got a guy. Listen, you guys know I don't read TikTok. While I'm on YouTube, while I'm doing my live stream, this live stream is not for you guys down here. But I got a guy on my TikTok live stream, and he's spamming that it's 0-0 in the bottom of the 7th, LSU versus Wake Forest. He said Skeens and Lauder are incredible pitchers. He told me Skeens is throwing 100 miles an hour. Let me help you out there, Navy Kevin. You cannot be excited about a 0-0 game. That sounds like the most boring thing to watch. A lot of bored outfielders. A lot of terrible batters. I don't like good pitchers. I like good hitters. I like good batters. That's why I don't watch baseball. I can't watch a game where we're excited about a 0-0 tie. It's not good defense. This isn't defense. This is baseball. It's just a bunch of dudes at the plate that can't hit anything. It's like a 7-3 football game. No, it's not. It's like a 0-0 football game. Please understand. If there's quarterbacks and they're dueling, I can appreciate it. But two pitchers going out there and painting the outside of the plate at 100 miles an hour with some umpire with a dip in his mouth calling balls and strikes at his own whim because he has a cascading strike zone. Cannot stand it. Some dude going strike with a damn bulletproof vest on. Never in my life will I support baseball until they get rid of the umpires. And until we stop celebrating 0-0 ties going into the 7th. That means 9 of your guys are not getting it done. I can't celebrate this. 9 of your guys are not getting it done, or 8 of your guys. And this is why we don't talk to TikTok when we're on live stream. Those are the casuals. Those are the casuals. These are the real ones. Shout out to the real ones up in the stream. They went down there with a $30 remote to use to play Roblox with my kids. So if you guys don't know what Marlo's talking about, he's talking about the submarine, and the submarine was controlled by a Mad Catz remote. And if you guys don't know what Mad Catz remote is, a Mad Catz, just so you know, back in the day, and I don't know if the kids know this today, but when your controller broke on your Super Nintendo or your Sega Genesis, and you had to replace your controller, the actual controllers are pretty expensive. But you could get a Mad Catz controller. It looked a little different, a little fatter in your hands. It wasn't as comfortable. It was the generic controller. And you could get a Mad Catz controller, and it would fit. The adapter would work. But if your friends came over and saw a Mad Catz controller, you were just a bump. You were a punk kid. You didn't have it. Shout out to my pops. We always had really good controllers. I don't remember having too many Mad Catz controllers. I know we had a turbo machine. This big old joystick, and you just hit the turbo machine. But could you imagine trying to control a submarine on a world of what would be considered a world-class excavation or a trip, or what are we doing? Mad Catz. I wouldn't let my kids use it to control their video games. You doing a submarine with 5 people's life on the line? Up, down, left, right, ABA, select, start, whatever. Hey, let's give me my 30 lives in Contra. Jars? Is it Jars? Jarcy Walker? Jarace? Is it Jarace or Jarcy? Jacare? Jarake? I feel like the substitute teacher from Key and Peele. Jarake Walker? Balake? You want to go to war, Balake? Houston, power forward, just got drafted 8th overall. It's a sad day when Rico Knows doesn't know the 8th overall pick in the draft. It's a sad day, y'all. I watched all of March Madness. I watched every game. I was on live stream. I was on TikTok Live for every game, March Madness, and I even got I got the winner right. My bracket was in the 99 percentile. I don't know these guys. Sad day, bro. I can tell you how old he is, though. Bama is getting a few bad seeds this season, I see. Whew. Understatement of the year, Lewis. Am I watching the NBA draft? Yes, I am, Prince. I'm watching it. Yes, watching it on my second screen. There you go, Chris. Scoot went to the wrong team. He won't develop like if he had his own team like Morant. Well, as long as Scoot stays away from the guns, he could play all season. Morant can't even play. Morant needs to keep working on his game. But he developed after the second year. Oh, my God. Thank goodness I have the draft on mute. Because Stephen A. Smith is on TV, guys, and I got to keep him muted for life. I can't listen to that guy talk about anything. There's not a thing I want to talk about. I'm glad. Stephen A., you're pretty in pink, bro. You and Molly Ringwald are pretty in pink. That's what you are, Stephen A. You're pretty in pink. Scoot's dad looks like Mike Epps. Oh, that was his dad. Hey, shout out to Day Day. I went and saw Mike Epps. Hey, you guys want to know something? My pops was out here living with me in Georgia for a couple years. And while he was living with me, I was like, hey, you want to go do some stuff? Just random. Just, yo, you want to go do some stuff? I remember we were watching a football game, and it was a Charlotte game, Carolina Panthers football game, and they spanned over to the city. And my father said, hey, yo, Reek, look at them skyscrapers in Charlotte. And I just kind of looked at him. I looked at the screen. I looked at him. Yo, Dad, you ever been to New York? He's like, no, I ain't been to New York. I'm like, okay. Literally 3 days later, we jump in the car, and I take him to New York for a vacation. We go there. I take him to the Empire State Building. I take him to go see where the Twin Towers fell. I took him to go. We stayed in Times Square. Took him to a comedy club. When we were done with New York, after a couple days, we left, and I took him to a Baltimore Ravens football game the season opener, their home season opener that year against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So we saw, Lamar Jackson against Patrick Mahomes. Anyways, after that, we're sitting at the crib one day, and I'm like, yo, you want to go see Mike Epps? Mike Epps at the comedy club down the street. We went and saw Mike Epps. We went and saw Day Mike Epps in South Carolina, Columbia. My bad. South Carolina, Columbia. There's a comedy club out there. We went and saw Mike Epps. So, yep, saw Day. Scoot's dad did look like him. There we go. We got the family on the couch. I like it. This is the French guy, right? Belil. There we go. Looking right, wearing the right suit. I like this kid a lot. Proposed trade to the Wizards? Let me know. They're making trades like that. We got some messages retracted. Shout out to you. How many wins do you think Minnesota will get? And are there any players you are excited to see? Are you talking about Minnesota college football? Okay, good. JG34. While in between picks, I can tell you this. Minnesota wins? Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up before I give you the wrong answer. So, we'll give you a min. We'll give you a min and a what is it? A min and a max. Minnesota, I have to say Gophers. Football schedule 2023. Let's go. So, I think they beat Nebraska. I think they beat Eastern Michigan. I think they beat North Carolina. How about that? I'm big on Minnesota. What if they're 4-0, 5-0 when they go into Michigan? Wouldn't that be cool? Minnesota's 5-0 when they go into Michigan. I think they lose to Michigan and Iowa, though. 5, 6, 7. Give me 5 to 8 wins for Minnesota. 5 to 8 wins for Minnesota. There you go. 5 to 8 wins for Minnesota. Now, the next question. Who am I excited about on the Minnesota football team? Well, there's Athan Kalamiknatis or whatever his name is, the new quarterback. I like the kid. He looked good in the bowl game. There is Sean Tyler, who just transferred in from Western Michigan. 2-time 1,000-yard rusher. Looks really good on tape. Looks like a breakaway back. Totally different from Mo Ibrahim. There's a wide receiver named Crooms coming over, and he was the leading receiver at Western Michigan as well. Really like that kid. Losing your top 2 wide receivers, though, is problematic. So I don't know how much they're going to pass. They got a new running backs coach. They got to work on that because they just lost Kenny Burns. He went to go be the head coach at Kent State. I like Minnesota, but I say they win 5 to 8 games. And if they don't beat Nebraska, it's going to be a long year. Thanks for the question. Opinion on Penn State. 3rd best team in the Big Ten. That's where I'm at. Keep winning. Cakewalk. You're crazy, Rico. SEC cakewalk. GOAT 42. Yeah. What's wrong with that? That's all I keep hearing about. Georgia's schedule. Georgia's got a bunch of cupcakes on the schedule. That's all I keep hearing. Georgia's got a bunch of cupcakes on the schedule. Who's their schedule? The SEC. Bunch of cupcakes. Just a bunch of scrubs, bro. They got elevated records because they don't play each other. If they played each other, they'd have records like everybody else. But they don't play each other. They play Alabama A&M Tech. And, I mean, come on. Come on. Cakewalk, Rico, why would you say that? I don't know. Maybe because they opened the season with FCS South Dakota, Middle Tennessee State, playing a group of 5 school in Memphis. Okay, these are respectable. I'll take it. But I'm looking at Missouri. It looks like a cakewalk to me. Looks like just a bunch of scrub teams. I got Missouri winning 1, 2, 3, 4 games. 4 games all season. That's what I got Missouri winning. 4. Good luck. It's a cakewalk, bruh. Next pick is in. Taylor Hendricks from UCF. Taylor Hendricks, power forward from UCF. Give me a second here. He's going to the Utah Jazz. Taylor Hendricks. Oh, he ain't going to make it. You guys know why he ain't going to make it? You think he's gonna make it in Utah? They're gonna make him get a haircut. He wants to go to Utah. They're gonna make him get it. Them people in Utah can't handle this. Utah, they don't even know. They don't know what that's about. Let's see what this guy did. 15 points, 7 rebounds. As a freshman, 6'9", 210. Did he kill it? Did he kill it? Let me know. I'm looking for his points here. How many games he score over 20 points? Okay, he was putting up double digits. Their last game of the season, he didn't show up. 3 for 10. He's not a gamer, bruh. 2 for 12. All right, they like him. Taylor Hendricks. Cool. There, I just looked him up. I learned a lot about him. If you want to learn more, go to the ESPN website. They have a mock draft where they can tell you how old he is. Just saying. Whew. I just got dizzy sitting here. Here we go. Sorry, the chat just jumped on me. What do you think of A.J. Hemming transferring to Northwestern? I'm curious. So, I think he just went back home. So, A.J. Henning, it's Henning, not Hemming, right? Henning? Henning, from Michigan. So, A.J. leaving Michigan, when he left, his quote was, "If they're throwing, I'm going." If they're throwing, I'm going. He was looking for any offense that was throwing the rock. He was going to go there. Any offense that's going to throw the rock a lot, that's where he wants to go. And he ends up going to Northwestern, the complete opposite of if they're throwing, I'm going. They got Ben Bryant in the transfer portal, but it's Northwestern. He just went to the worst team in the Big Ten, and he had to go somewhere else. If you want to see the field and actually make an impact and play, it's not at Northwestern because they're just going to struggle. He should have gone to the group of 5, but he has too much pride. And a lot of these kids can't do it. You're going to transfer, and you can just transfer to another school within your conference. That's not the move. The move is if they're throwing, I'm going, go to Western Kentucky. You want to get some stats? You want to get some yards? You want to show out? Go to Western Kentucky. Go to Western Michigan. They just lost their leading receiver. If they're throwing, I'm going. But instead, he just went to a school close to home because he's from Illinois. So he went to Northwestern. Not impressed with the move at all. Thought it was a terrible move. And I don't think it's going to pay off. So there you go. That's what I think about that move. Thank you for asking, Sphinx. That's a random question that no one's ever asked. Hey, Rico, how do the Cavs improve and not be mediocre next year? I have no earthly idea. You think I'm watching the NBA like that? Dude, I'm in here mispronouncing names. I don't know these guys. What is wrong with you guys? I don't know what the Cavs need to get King James. And I ain't talking about LeBron James. I'm talking about a Bible. They need to do some prayer. I'm letting you know. Pops and I did Slim Shady today, 8 miles. Today, 8 miles. Okay, so they did the 8 mile. I get it now. They did an 8-mile workout, so he's calling it Slim Shady. Got it. I thought you shot yourself in the leg, Cheddar Bob. That's what I thought. Wiseman went to Detroit, Rico, and he's going to have a big year. Okay, Marlo. Hey, Marlo's trying to give me the facts. Marlo's trying to get hired to cover the basketball section of Rico Knows. Hard pass. But shout out to you, Marlo. How do I tell you and your twin apart? I think your twin has a slight lisp. I also think he may have more hair than you. Well, you see, when you're comparing two things, you're supposed to use THAN, not EN. So using EN is just crazy. So he has more hair than me, then what? No, here's the reality. I get haircuts every week. He lets it grow. Nobody's getting haircuts every week. I'm in the military. I get haircuts every week. The way you can tell us apart is I'm a chiseled specimen, and that is a civilian. He is a civilian. I am a leader in the world's strongest army. Two totally different things. All right, that's how you tell us apart. I'm also covered in tattoos, and I have one dimple, and the other one's a wrinkle. I have a dimple and a wrinkle. He has 2 dimples. Shouldn't be that hard. We don't look alike. Kenny Lofton Jr. played in the G League, signed with Memphis. Okay, so his son. He don't play baseball. Got it. It's in the memory bank now. Wiseman is one step out of the NBA. Weakest center ever with no post move or deep stretch three. He is even bad on defense. Sucks at everything. Chris E. That's way too much information for me, bro. Everything? We don't even know what everything is. Belil and Wemby were on the same team in France. Okay. Crazy they didn't even win their league title and got 2 of the top 10 picks. Miles Weber, I'll never understand it. They just draft on potential. They don't care if they won games. They don't care if they weren't a great combination. They just do it. Hey, what's with all the pink suits? They took this Pride Month a little too serious, or is this in support of the chesticle cancer? Is this in support of cancer for the chesticles? I'm cool with it. Hey, yo, his mom is, speaking of, okay, mom's out here looking busty for no reason. Hey, dude, this is a kid, bro. This is a kid. He got acne on his face. This ain't no adult. All right, next pick in the draft, Cason Wallace from Kentucky. He's a point guard going to Dallas. Cason Wallace from Kentucky. He's a point guard. He's going to Dallas. Cool. Chrissy stopped the cap. Wiseman was playing well when he got to Detroit. Monty will coach him up, unlike Kerr. Here we go. We got Marlo Stanfield. And the only Marlo I've ever known was from the 3rd season of The Wire, by the way. Marlo, who was trying to push them new boys on the block, trying to push that, he needed the re-up. And he was taking away Proposition Joe's corners and Marlo was, who was looking for him? Oh boy, R.I.P. R.I.P. The dude with a shotgun. How do I not remember his name? Here comes Omar. There it is. Omar. Anyways, that's the only Marlo I know. Yo, but Chris E is not having it. Chris E and Marlo are going to have a basketball off. They're gonna argue in the chat all day long. Just letting you know. Stop the cap. And Kerr don't be training, don't coach anybody up. Rico, OSU winning it all. Sincere Miles, I have no idea what prediction you're making. Winning all of what? Winning all of 3 games? How good will DJ Lagway be? Chase McNeil, I haven't watched his tape. That's the truth. I haven't watched his tape. They talk about him every day. But I haven't watched his tape. I can't get excited about it. I will not speak on the young man. Now, how good will he be? I don't make predictions like that. I don't look at people's tape. I watched the kid's tape today. Who's the kid I watched today? Micah Hudson. Everybody asked me about Micah Hudson last night. I wrote his name down. They said, is this a 5-star player going to Texas Tech? I heard that he's picking Texas Tech over Texas because of Zach Kitley, because Texas Tech has everything you ever wanted as a wide receiver. Shout out to Dre McCray. And I went and watched the tape, and I got to tell you, that boy looks like Anquan Bolden. That dude looks so nice. When I watch Micah Hudson on tape, I'm like, oh, that's a 5-star wide receiver. Now, I don't know how good he's going to be. This question, how good will someone be? I don't know how good he's going to be. I watched the tape on Micah Hudson, and my goodness, he looks dangerous. I wrote him down. Man, I'm making a video on Micah Hudson tomorrow. It better get 100,000 views because he's fire. He's dynamite. I'm letting you know. How good will DJ Lagway be? I'll watch his video, but I don't know how good anyone's going to be. I just don't know. What do you think of of OU this upcoming year? Showtime. I think OU played Florida State really well in their bowl game. I'm excited for what Brett Venables is doing. As I look at the departing transfers from Oklahoma, I can only see that they have upgraded the talent at all their positions. So they're going to be a better team. I don't think they're going to be great this year, though. I think they're going to be better, but not great. Being great for them is 2 years from now. When Jackson Arnold starts getting that ball, I've watched Jackson Arnold play for 3 years now from Denton Guyer High School. I watched Jackson Arnold play. Him and Peyton Bowen, the safety, These two guys on the same high school team look like NFL football players from the jump. And I think he's the best 5-star quarterback in this whole class of all the players that just came out from from high school to the college ranks. Every 5-star they talk about, I don't care if it's Nico, I don't care if it's Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Malachi, whoever. Like, none of that matters to me. The very best quarterback that I've seen come out of high school in the last 2 years is Jackson Arnold. So Oklahoma has the gem of all gems at quarterback right now. They got to let him develop. They got to let him redshirt this year, and then you play him. He's built like a man. He runs the rock. He's just a straight ass kicker, dude. He's that guy. He is him when I look at tape. I think OU is going to be good this year. I think they're going to be great in about 2 years, 3 years. Go to the SEC. I think they can win the whole damn SEC with Jackson Arnold. That's how good he is. That's how good I feel about him. And then Brett Venables just recruiting the hell out of the defensive side of the ball and the transfer portal. I'm so with it. I think it's great. Wizards made smart moves. Are you talking about trades and stuff? They are Wizards. They know magic. Jet Howard, shooting guard from Michigan, just taken 11th overall by the Orlando Magic. They just took a dude named Jet Howard from Michigan. Hey, let's go check this guy's mock draft and see if he's still batting 1,000. Because you know what? He was doing really well to start. Anthony Black, Walker. Okay, so he missed Walker. He had Belil. Cam Whitmore has not come off the board yet. He had him at 8. Whitmore hasn't come off the board at all. Tyler Hendricks did go to 9. Derek Lively still not off the board. He had Grady Dick going to the Magic. That's not happening. And then there's Belil. He had Belil at 12. I'm sorry, I'm not even showing you guys on the screen, am I? Let me move this. So he had Belil at 12. Kobe Buffkin? Who named these kids, bruh? Juwan Howard's son? Where's Juwan Howard's son? Did I miss him? I'm sorry, guys. Jordan Hawkins. Hey, Jordan Hawkins is old, man. 21.1. We can't draft him. Let's get him out of here. Jalen Hood Shafino. I don't even know who some of these guys are. I know Jaime. That's the UCLA guard, right? He's not very good. He's like 6'6" and just gets it done in the playoffs. He's always so clutch. He's a perfect Miami Heat guy. Nothing exciting about Jaime. There's Jet Howard. Oh, my goodness. He thought Jet was going 20th. Houston is thought to be shopping this pick with plenty of young players already on the roster and little need for additional rookies. Exactly. Everybody wants to trade out at the end of the first round. The Rockets could be willing to move out in exchange for future first-rounders and kick this selection down the road. But if the player falls here, they'll simply decide to stay put and select. Howard's shooting ability, we don't know how good it is. He gives me no percentage. Size makes it boom, 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 boom. Beginning with the Lakers at 17 and running towards the back of the first round. Okay. So, if you're paying attention, that means, according to the draft expert, Jet Howard is Juwan's son. Oh, okay. Maybe I should have watched Michigan basketball. If you're watching the draft expert, the Orlando Magic just reached big time. He was predicted to go 20th, and he went 11th. They just reached. This is the ultimate reach around. This is crazy. You haven't talked about JMU since January. How do you think they'll be this year? Eli Apple, I don't like you or your mother. Just wanted to say that. I don't like you or your mother. I like JMU. I think they have a good team. I think they have a great foundation. They recruited really well. They held their team together in the transfer portal for the most part. And they got some good transfers coming in. Have I not talked? I think I've talked about them since January. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. Did you do a search on TikTok? Hashtag JMU. Hashtag Rico knows. Let's see. If you go to TikTok, I'm trying to teach you guys this. You go to TikTok right here. You just click on it. It don't matter. Go to the search bar. If you go to this search bar and you search hashtag, sorry, I can't see my keyboard. What's my hashtag again? JMU. Hey, let's turn that down real quick. I hope you guys couldn't hear that. I think I might have it muted. And then hashtag Rico knows. That's all you got to do. Just put in the 2 hashtags in the search bar. And it looks like I haven't talked about JMU in a while. That's too bad. Oh, wait, let me go to videos. I don't want to go to top. My bad. Oh, no, that's how it's working. Hashtag JMU. It didn't show up. I guess I have not talked about them. They came up with a bunch of other stuff that I didn't expect to see. Let's do this. Hashtag JMU transfer portal. Let's do that. Hey, relax, Ash. Wow. I haven't talked about them since January. But when I did talk about them, I did say they were the 30th best transfer portal class. I did tell you guys they're the 30th best transfer portal class. I haven't re-ranked them, though. It's a shame. All right, I owe you an answer. I owe you an update. But for the most part, I like JMU. I think they're doing well as a program. I think they're holding it together. So that's how I feel. Thanks for the question. Excuse me, my chat just froze on me. Let's go live. Rico, Kenny Lofton Jr. is not Kenny Lofton, the baseball player's son. Marlo, yes, he is. Yes, you just don't know it. All these players have illegitimate children. Don't try to convince me otherwise. That is Kenny Lofton's son. And Reggie Bush, the second, who plays for Baylor in the secondary, that's Reggie Bush's son too. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. What needs to happen for my Gators to make it back to the glory days? Larocco Glaze. The Gators need to find 5-star quarterback. That's all it is. 5-star quarterback, nothing more, nothing less. That's what they need to find. They can get everything else. They can get athletes. They got Andy Jean coming in at receiver. They got running backs for days. They can find linemen. They need to find a 5-star quarterback and a real one. They need to assess one that actually gets it done. They need to keep them home and not let them go to other teams. I don't know if they got to pay them millions of dollars, but they better figure it out because somebody's paying somebody something. All these other teams seem to be getting better players than you. The Marlo that had those bodies in the vacants. Yes, Marlo. Yes. This is your show, Rico. No arguing here. No, you guys are good. Do you read into NFL training camp news or not really? So, Glaze, not really. And the reason not really is because they're written, training camp news is generally written with a positive slant, meaning they'll say nothing negative about the players. They'll tell you all the positives, and then you'll think a certain player is not going to get cut. But the reality is they are going to get cut because how you perform in minicamp, for the most part, doesn't matter. In training camp, it just doesn't matter. They already have predetermined slots from all the contracts that they already have agreed to well before you ever got there. That's the way it works. Before you ever got to try out or anything, they already had all the slots figured out. Shout out to the Rams. They just signed a running back 2 days ago, Sony Michel. Again, coming over from he's from Georgia. Sony Michel. And when you look at the depth chart, you're like, they got Kerwin Williams, they got Cam Akers, they drafted what's his face from Ole Miss, Zach Evans. It's like they already have 3 running backs. You can't make it on that team. And then they go and sign Sony Michel. It's like, well, he's the 4th one. Whoever else is on that team, doesn't matter how you play, you're not going to get ahead on the depth chart. There's 2 guys they invested money in. There's a draft pick. And then there's all these dudes fighting for the 4th spot. And that's how it is on so many different teams. Somebody's upset on TikTok. Unfortunately, they can't write. So they don't get any acknowledgement whatsoever. If you want to write to me, get to YouTube. So, not really reading into it, Glaze. Not at all. Arch Manning is overrated. By who, T? By who? You don't hear me talking about Arch Manning. I don't overrate him. I don't think this of him. I think he's a good quarterback. He's a high school quarterback who went to college. You don't hear me coming in here going, hey, he's the next blah, blah, blah. He needs to be starting. I don't even talk like that. You've never heard me say that about any of these young men. So how are they overrated? Overrated means you think this highly of them and they're really not that good. Well, if I don't think that highly of them, then they're not overrated. Not to me. Derek Lively II just went off the board off of Duke. Now, this is a center. This is a big man going to OKC. Let me tell you guys. Remember, who's the big guy who just went back to Purdue? The 7'4" Neanderthal. The dude with more Neanderthal DNA than Homo sapien DNA. I'm forgetting his name right now. I did a video on him. Derek Lively's better. Just so you know, Derek Lively's better. Jet Howard is Jawan's son. T, you weren't there. You didn't see him put it in. You didn't see him leave it all in. T, I mean, the decks are stacked against him when his older brother's a Hall of Fame quarterback and Super Bowl winners. Tough to follow that success. There we go, Chrissy. And they're not brothers. They're uncles. But I hear you. Chrissy is always on point. I don't even know what he's saying in the chat, but typically after I say something, I go down and I read his comment, and it's equivalent to what I was saying. Good on you, brother. I appreciate you. Eli Apple is laughing because I don't like him or his mother. That's real. Chrome's retracted. Okay. Shout out to you, Chrome's. He said it again some other time. We're doing it. Where are we at? I was at the game watching my brother play Mill Creek when Rush Probst hit his player in the head. Okay. There you go, Noah Limberry. Rush Probst has a T in his name, but I'm with you. I know what you meant. JMU lost my guy, Jarvis Green. You should do a player breakdown on him. 3-star running back out of Columbia, committed to Clemson, real down-to-earth guy. South Carolina, by the way. Yeah, I know where Columbia is. You thought, what would you think? I thought Columbus? I'm with you. Thank you, Chromes. Thank you for the heads up. I have a different opinion on Jarvis Green. I don't know him personally. I don't know if he's a real stand-up guy, down-to-earth. You guys don't ever hear me describe players as down-to-earth because I haven't talked to them, right? I make my assessment on players, but it's usually got to do with their tape. Orlando is going to have to trade some of these young players like Cole Anthony or Suggs to make room for these new guys. Suggs can go play some football, man. Suggs used to be a hell of a quarterback. Is it Jalen Suggs that we're talking about? The Gonzaga dude? Oh, man, I like Suggs a lot. From Minnesota. Suggs is a hell of a football player. Back starting to feel better. Thanks, Brother Rico. Hey, Indecisive Angel, thank you for the $2. That means a lot to me. You guys don't know. Indecisive Angel just sent me $2. Hey, anything to help me get through my day. The more you guys provide me, the better off I am. I can actually eat. You guys are helping me eat, bruh. And I can focus on my craft. No comment on Eli Apple or his mother. Shout out to Kim Jones, the beautiful Kim Jones. You guys got to know this about Kim Jones and I. I started dating Kim Jones, I think it was last year in October timeframe. And we go on a date. We met each other on TikTok. And we met each other. We drove 3.5 hours to meet each other. We went on a date. We went to dinner. Shout out to Red Lobster. I was out there. Hey, I'm out there balling. I said, yo, we could do it big. Let's go to Red Lobster. So we go to Red Lobster. We sit down. I'm like, yo, get a Bahama Mama. I got you. My pockets are deep. It's our first date. And the first thing Kim Jones says to me is, I hate Eli Apple. Yo, I got to date somebody who's into sports. I got to date somebody who doesn't mind being here every night. Kim's here every night. Kim watches the channel every day. Supports everything. She runs the merch. Rico.org. RicoKnows.org. She runs the whole website. Kim is doing her thing. And the first thing she says to me is, I hate Eli Apple and his mother because they hate where I'm from and I hate them. And I looked at her and said, but he's a good corner. I think he's a good corner. She's like, no, I hate him. This is a real conversation we had on our first date. I didn't know her kids' names, but I knew that she hated Eli Apple. True story. Rico, how do you feel about Sean Wade? 1 second. My dog is acting up, and I need to go check something. Which Shaun Wade are we talking about? That's my next question. Ohio State corner, I'm assuming. Or are you saying he's in the? Or is he in the NFL now? Yeah, he's been in the NFL. What about him? He's gonna get some shine. His boy Jack is in jail. His competition is in jail. His competition is locked up. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up. Hey, who are they interviewing right now? Who is this guy in the tan outfit? Is this Jett Howard? This Juwan Howard's son? Dude. Okay. All right, Jett. Why is mom dressed like Chun-Li? Why does mom look like she's trying out for Street Fighter 3 Turbo? Why is she dressed like Chun-Li, y'all? Somebody explain to me what she's wearing. Somebody explain to me what she's wearing. Oh, my goodness. Rico, how do you feel about Shaun Wade? Yeah, he's going to get a chance to play a lot. Does UNC take a step back this year, offensively losing Josh Downs in college football over the last year? So, over under 8.5 wins for Notre Dame with Sam Hartman. Noah Lindberry. So, to answer your first question, does UNC take do they go down? Obviously, yes. Losing Josh Downs, Antoine Green, their entire secondary, losing Phil Longo, their offensive coordinator. There's a lot of things North Carolina lost that people aren't aware of. So I'm with North Carolina not being as good next year. Another thing is some ACC teams will be much better next year, and that's going to hurt North Carolina. Sam Hartman and Notre Dame, I'm not a fan of the move. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I don't think they're going to be great. I actually have them losing 4 games in a row. How about them apples? Can they be 8.5 wins? They can. I don't see them doing it. I think they're going to have a down year. I think it's going to be a disaster. And if I'm wrong, that would be a first. That would be a first. What do you know about Pell City besides one bad season? Joe, you know. Up until Coach Probe was hiding his entire family in Pell City, I had never heard of Pell City. But in 2013, when they talked about his mistress, and I forget her name right now, but when she was living in Pell City, that's when I learned about Pell City. Charlie Pell is the only other Pell I know. He's the only other cheater more notorious than Rush Probst. So yeah, that's what I know. Other than that, I don't care about Pell City, bro. It's a city in Alabama. I'm excited if they can read. Okay, it's Alabama. I'm hoping their family trees are more than a tree stump and they can read. It's Alabama. Let's be real. That's what I know about Pell City. It's not Phoenix. It's not, what is it? It's not Spanish Fort. I've been to Alabama. Where was I at? I was at Redstone Arsenal. So what city is that? Huntsville. I was at Huntsville. Fancy spot, bro. I was in some fancy spots. Shout out to Chris. Thank you for the Hey, Chris is out here paying for my meal, y'all. Chris taking care of me, bro. Thank you for sharing the wealth. I appreciate Chris E. doing what we do. Kenny Lofton Jr.'s dad was in the Army. Yeah. Let me tell you how that works, Marlo. His dad was in the Army, deployed, while Kenny Lofton, the baseball player, was with mom. That's how it was, okay? He doesn't know his dad. He was named after the baseball player. Dad wasn't there. Kenny Lofton, the baseball player, showed up and made it happen. So there you go. Zach Edey, 7'4" from Purdue. Zach Edey, the giant from Purdue. Grady Dick! Grady Dick just got drafted, y'all. Going to Toronto. Get that man out of America. He's going to Canada. Kansas shooting guard Grady Dick. All the signs will be out there saying they love Grady. And, yeah, congratulations. The 13th pick in the draft. These lottery picks, man, it's exciting. He slipped a little bit. The Grady slipped. He did the slip. Oh, my goodness. But he found the right hole. He found the right team. What's your opinion on Jarvis Green? Do I owe you a video? Do I owe you a video? I'm gargling. I owe you a video. Thoughts on Emilio Agard? I don't even know who that is. Did you hit after Red Lobster? What a child, bruh. What a child. Did I hit after Red Lobster? Let me tell you something, kid. If you think I'm going to take a woman to dinner and hit after Red Lobster, you're a child. You're not getting taken to Red Lobster unless I already hit. I'm not taking you to Red Lobster unless I already. That's number one. Number two, who's doing that on a full stomach, bro? You're not putting in your best effort. I'm 40. We ain't doing nothing on a full stomach. I'm done eating. I'm chilling, bro. I ain't getting excited. You want to hit? We ain't going to dinner. Be grown. Quarterback Jason Brown at Jackson State currently, is he a quality quarterback? I don't know, Damon. I'd have to double check. I don't know off the top of my head. I owe you an answer there. And Emilio Agard, I got to go write that down. Next time I see you, ask me the question. Nah, Kim, it ain't rude. It's childish. It ain't rude because there's no polite way to say it. It's rude if you asked it incorrectly. Is there a polite way to say it? There isn't. It's just childish. He doesn't know. This boy TN gets nervous around women. He gets nervous. His heart rate gets up. He gets super nervous if they sit next to him. I promise you. He doesn't know what to do. A girl could walk up to him and be like, hey, how you doing? He'll be like, yeah, me too. Yeah. Girl could tell him, he'll be getting his food at the drive-thru. She'll be like, enjoy your meal. He'll be like, you too. He just gets nervous, doesn't know what to say around women. He just says the wrong thing. Hey, how you doing today? Me, you? That's that guy right there. He just, doesn't know what to say, doesn't know what to do. That's him. I'm letting you know right now. He ain't built for this. Finally, your thoughts on South Carolina this upcoming year. Chromes, I think they're going to struggle, but still have the capability or the ability to beat other teams. And what I mean by that is this, is they lost some really good players in the transfer portal. They are playing better under Shane Beamer. But when I look at South Carolina, I look at the entire SEC and I say, okay, some of these teams got to lose. Somebody's got to lose. Somebody's got to lose. That's all I can say. And they look like one of those teams that's got to lose. That's all. We got a gem in Rick Pearsall last year from ASU. Did you see that coming? So Glaze, LaRocco Glaze, I saw it coming. I liked Ricky Pearsall. Ricky, by the way, not Rick, but Ricky. I'm with you. I liked Ricky Pearsall. Great quality receiver, quality possession receiver. I didn't see him replacing Copeland the way he did and becoming the best receiver on the team because Shorter and Henderson were like returning starters, 5-star guys, studs, NFL caliber wide receivers. And these are guys that with Armani, what's his name? Emory Jones, my bad. These are guys with Emory Jones that completed 65% of their passes, right? Emory Jones completed 65% of his passes with these receivers. And then this last year, everybody's up in arms telling me how terrible the receivers are on Florida. They're telling me how terrible are these receivers at Florida. And I'm going, what do you mean? They're saying Anthony Richardson got no good receivers. All his receivers suck. They can't even get open. Anthony Richardson has no good receiver. I'm going, what? I just saw him tear it up. I just saw Emory Jones have a 65% completion percentage with these receivers. And then the NFL draft comes, and Shorter goes in the 5th round. And I'm going, oh, my God. Are you guys sure they're not any good? The NFL seems to think so. I seem to think so. But these average lames don't know. Pearsall's really good. And shout out to Henderson. He just transferred to Cincinnati to go play with Emory Jones again. That's why he transferred to Cincinnati. Emory Jones was completing all those passes. And he said, man, I need a quarterback that can complete these passes. I'm out here. Let me get the hell out of here. I just saw Graham Mertz all spring. I need to get the hell out of here. Graham Mertz can't do shit. Hey, let me get back to The best quarterback I've known, Heard County's finest, shout out to Georgia, Emory Jones. Yes, he's from Georgia. Jordan Hawkins went 14th in the draft just now from UConn. National champion, Jordan Hawkins, shooting guard. Baller. You always want that championship pedigree in your locker room. Yeah, so I saw it coming, but not to that extent. I remember Jason Brown at SC for a year, and so he was a decent quarterback. Okay. Do you think Indiana's DJ Matthews will get picked up? You talking about basketball right now? What are you talking about, DJ Matthews? I need to know. Indiana DJ Matthews? Indiana DJ Matthews. Football. Get picked up. Is he in the portal? I thought he already transferred once. Oh, boy. Is he still sitting in there? If you guys didn't know, DJ Matthews is a guy that transferred from Florida State. That's weird. He was in the draft. Okay, there. That makes a lot more sense. He had to be in the draft, right? And didn't get drafted? Yeah, well, then he needs to go to one of those XFL showcases. There we go. I was like, man, this can't be real. He's not in the portal. Whew. I thought he was done. Bananas, bro. ABC NBA draft stream is behind. Use the other ESPN Plus stream. Oh, I'm watching the draft. I've got the draft going on TV, and then I have this thing here for here. I'm not going to pull up anything else. I'm good. I don't care if I'm behind. I could read about the draft results tomorrow morning for all I care. What's a couple minutes? I agree on the Notre Dame take. Thank you, Indecisive Angel. And if you didn't agree, well, then you'd just be wrong. The Pelicans tried to trade Zion. Yeah, okay. Who the hell wants that dude? Who wants that dude? This camera setup is goofy as all. See is the top of dude's head. Joe, you know. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Joe, you know? Top of dude's head where? What? You want to see my whole body? Joe, you know, you want to see my whole body? What do you want to see, bro? You want to see my abs? Or you need a groin shot? You want to see my booty when I walk away? What's wrong with you, dude? Rico out here cooking cats all the time, T. All the time. Thoughts on Austin Reed, Western Kentucky quarterback. So Austin Reed, for me, I think he's a complete stud. This is a transfer coming from West Florida, Division II. Balls out, goes to Western Kentucky, does great, one of the nation's leading passers last year. And more importantly, he did get offers to go to Louisville and Kentucky after the season, and he turned them down. He said, no way, I'm not going to Louisville or Kentucky and having an average-ass year in the Power 5 and possibly getting drafted in the 6th round. When I can turn that down, get some NIL money, throw for another 4,000 yards at Western Kentucky, and go in the 3rd round, like Bailey Zappi. And that's his goal. He plans to get drafted in the 3rd or 4th round next year from having another stellar year at Western Kentucky against lesser competition. He knows. Everyone knows. Doesn't matter. It'll get you drafted. That much production, it'll get you drafted. True, Grady is wearing his mother's Blazers. He got that old lady Roseanne Blazers. Hey, y'all need to stop watching Roseanne. Turn off your TVs at night. Don't let them run at night. When you go to bed at night, don't let your TV run. You're giving terrible shows ratings. At least put it on Forensic Files. Stop watching Roseanne reruns. There's a whole generation of kids who should not know who Roseanne is because that show is terrible. If it shows Full House at night, if it shows the George Lopez show, change the channel and don't watch that crap. Stop giving it ratings. Seems like analysts do that with every quarterback who struggles that has a high draft stock. Still seems like Richardson is going to succeed just based on reporting from even Colts rivals. Yeah, Ryan Brunner. Okay. I don't care what anybody says. I know what the tape says. And the tape says that's not a good quarterback. Now, can he be coached? Can he be improved? Sure. Sure. But I know what I see. I see a natural inclination to not throw an accurate pass. So you're from the IE. What's your thoughts on RCHS? Rancho Cucamonga? Redlands. I don't know who RCHS is. Redlands? Who's RCH? Riverside? Roosevelt? I don't know who RC. I don't know what that is. So I'm from the Inland Empire, Jay Earn, but I haven't lived there in over 20 years. So if there's a new high school that was created, I have no idea who the hell they are. I just want to make that clear right now. If there's a new high school, I don't know it. I left in the year 2003. I know all the perennial powers, but I don't really get down like that. Ever heard of Foster High in Richmond, Texas? Yeah, I have here and there, Miles. I've heard of Foster High. What are your thoughts on this draft? I-9. What a terrible draft. It is the NBA draft. It's always the worst. NBA draft is the most underwhelming draft. It's almost as bad as the baseball draft, which is like 50 rounds of amateur draft. Kobe Buffkin. Kobe Buffkin, point guard from Michigan, drafted. Going to the Atlanta Hawks. I've lived here 8 years. I've never gone to a Hawks game. I haven't. I've been to a Georgia Southern football game before I go to Atlanta Hawks game. Think about that. And I live in Georgia. I live the same distance away from Atlanta that I do Statesboro, and I'd rather go to Statesboro and watch a Georgia Southern football game than an Atlanta Hawks basketball game. There ain't nothing to see. There ain't nothing to see. Just letting you know. Back in the day, TV used to shut off at 3 a.m. Yes, Marlo. TV used to do those little bars and sign out. Yes. And back in the day, I used to call the time to find out what time it was. Yeah, anybody else call the time? We used to call the time. It's real. Tommy DeVito's chance to make the Giants, 0. 0. Tommy DeVito's chance to make the Giants, 0. I don't even know what other quarterbacks they have on the team. 0 for Tommy DeVito. Rancho Cucamonga, okay, RCHS, absolutely nothing. I have 0 thoughts on Rancho Cucamonga. 0. Because I don't know who's on their team right now. I don't know how well they did last year or this year. I'm not watching Rancho Cucamonga high school football. I'm telling you right now. Rico does not know Rancho Cucamonga high school football. And if you want to bring it and be like, yo, Rico, you don't know RCHS, you ain't shit. Like, okay, me and everybody else ain't shit. My bad. Ever heard of Dutch Fork? Yeah. In Utah? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Coach Knotts? He's a little interesting to say the least. Well, I think he's won at multiple places, right? Not just at Dutch Fork. He's won at multiple places. Yeah. Shout out to them. Unique is what it is, bro. People win. People do things. Ever heard of Lakota West? Best public school in Southwest Ohio. Yeah. I'm not too impressed with a lot of the Ohio perennial powers or best schools. I mean, both Hawks and Falcons have been trash. Empty seats everywhere. Only the Braves are good. Oh, I wouldn't know. I don't go to Braves games either. I think I went to a Falcons game. No. What game did I go to? I went to a Cowboys game. Were they playing the Falcons when I went? I think so. At Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And I've been to the state championships for football. But that was at Georgia State. Any knowledge on Monarchy High School in Porterville, California? No. Zilch. Nada. 0. Dutch Fork is in South Carolina. What am I thinking of? Union Fork? What am I thinking of? Union Fork? Definitely. Fork Union. What's wrong with me? I was thinking of Fork Union. But yeah, I still know Dutch Fork. I do. Braves games are awesome, Rico. The Battery is maybe the best bar hopping scene in Georgia. Yeah, bars don't appeal to me. I don't drink alcohol. I don't like people who are drunk. They don't appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. 0. I've never even understood the concept of a bar. Just a bunch of people where you meet up to go drink and let your inhibitions fly. Like, I can talk to people in real life anywhere I go. Why do I have to go to a bar? I can literally talk to strangers anywhere. I do it without alcohol all the time. I could just be in the store and strike up a conversation with somebody. I do it on live all the time. Not a thing to be excited about. I don't like to go to a bar. What's the point? So they can all pretend to be inebriated or really be inebriated and then finally talk? I don't need all that. I don't need liquid courage. I can literally talk to somebody just walking by. Murray State going to win the FCS championship, calling it now. I don't agree with you, Andrew Cottle. I think Southern Illinois has a really good shot. And obviously South Dakota State with Isaiah coming back at running back. So where are you from in the IE? T, it doesn't matter, man. T, now you're getting too specific. It doesn't matter because I got a lot of family that lives around there. I don't want people looking up my family. I don't need people searching around like that. Arthur Smith is a great coach. Falcons should have been much worse these past few years. Well, that's a terrible thing to say. But the coach is good. I get it. New Mexico State on the way up. Las Cruces underrated and pretty nice as well. Okay, David Pitton. I want you to do a search on TikTok. Hashtag NMSU. Hashtag transfer portal. And then I want you to find everything I've ever said about New Mexico State and tell me if they're underrated. Because they are not underrated. Underrated means somebody doesn't appreciate them or identify them as being good. I have an I Am Right video where I said how great New Mexico State is. And I predicted they would win their bowl game. And I love Jerry Kill, and I love the team. Remember what I'm saying. Everything about New Mexico State, they can't be underrated if somebody is praising them and saying they're great. They're underrated if people don't think shit about them. Stop talking to people who don't know sports. Stop talking to people who don't know college football. They're not underrated. New Mexico State is real. What do you think about all the Baby Gronk stuff? Chris Baxter, I've never made a video on it for a reason. I think it's ridiculous. I didn't even know it was a real thing. I don't care if it's a real thing. The kid hasn't been through puberty. There are kids right now that are out there. It's just pointless. It is literally pointless. It is the dumbest thing that you guys should never give clicks to something like that. That's not real content. It's not real sports news. It's off-season bullshit. There's so many better things to talk about. What's your deal with Coach Rush? I don't have a deal with Coach Rush. With Rush Probst? What coach? What are you talking about? What deal? I made a video talking about his life. Nothing I said in there is different from what's been published. It wasn't an opinionation piece. It wasn't like an opinionative piece. It wasn't a column. It was me pointing out stories and the life path and trajectory that he's made. He was a great coach at Hoover. He got fired, cheated on his wife, had a second family. And when I say had a second family, I don't mean like he cheated and had an affair. I'm talking about he had kids nobody knew about. He had a family nobody knew about at the games. I didn't even mention that he didn't pay $450,000 in taxes. I just said he failed to pay his taxes, and that's why he lost the job. I didn't say he lost his job because he didn't pay $450,000. I ain't got no beef with the guy. He's frail. See me, bruh. See me. I played with the Southern Illinois tight end. In high school, Tice Daniel, he went undrafted this year. Okay, there you go, Andrew. Have you ever heard of a school called Colquitt or something like that? We have them first week. They're in Georgia, apparently top-ranked school. You're playing Colquitt County? Chromes? You're playing Colquitt County? They're a really good team. They're a 7A team. They're usually really good. Yes, I know who they are. Colquitt County. They have double T at the end of their name. COLLQUITT. Very good team. Truth, I'll get on it. Thanks, Rico. No problem. Yep. Hashtag NMSU. Hashtag transfer portal. What do you think about Evan Stewart? No Limit J. I think Evan Stewart is a very good wide receiver at Texas A&M. I respect his game. I think he's good. He's got to do better. Got to get the ball more. Got to do more with it. But he's a good player. He's talented. Hella athletes don't pay taxes. No, not true. That is not true. That's why it's always news when they don't pay taxes. it's always news when they break the law and then have to pay and get things repoed and get things repossessed, right? They get things taken away. No, not a hella taxes. Hella athletes don't pay that. That's not true. They hire accountants and they pay taxes. Hella athletes are upstanding citizens. Hella athletes follow the law and don't get arrested. Hella athletes are upstanding citizens in this world. That's why it's so newsworthy when they're breaking the law, domestic violence, DUIs, murdering, whatever. To quote you, hella athletes are actually really good people and giving back to their communities. There are individuals who are doing ridiculous things, and that's what we focus on and talk about. But remember, for every third person that's messing up, or no, think of every NFL team. How many guys do we talk about in the offseason from, let's pick a team. How many guys did we talk about from the Packers that broke the law? Let me know. That's an entire team of up to 90 people in the offseason that didn't break the law at all. But you're going to focus on the one that didn't pay the taxes. Come on now. What are your thoughts on Troy football and Coach John Summerall? Maybe one of the best coaches in FBS that very few people talk about. I believe he will be UK's next head coach after Stoops leaves or retires. Okay, so a couple things. Number one, I think very highly of Troy football. I think Troy football is great. But do not ever get in the habit of making a prediction that a group of 5 coach is going to be a Power 5 head coach. Don't do it. You will be, remember, I make predictions for a living, right? I have to be consistent and be accurate. I make predictions for a living. So before I make a prediction, I do some type of like probability checking. I do some type of research before I make that prediction. And you got to know that group of 5 head coaches do not get hired to be Power 5 head coaches. It is extremely rare. Like 1 out of 20. You got to go undefeated for years like Luke Fickell. They're not hiring you to be a head coach at a Power 5 school unless you're a Power 5 offense or defensive coordinator or you have previous head coach experience. So, remember what I'm saying. The prediction is if you're trying to identify a Power 5 head coach, it would have to be somebody who has previous head coach experience, somebody from a coordinator position in the Power 5, somebody from the NFL, and then the group of 5. That's how it works. They don't hire anybody else. And like, I can show you. Let's do this. I'll do it on camera for you guys. I don't even know. Let's go FBS newly hired football coaches. And let's go 2023. I'm just pulling it up. And look. And if we look, Luke Fickell. He was a head coach in the group of 5. So there's one. Jeff Brom, previous Power 5 to Power 5. Didn't come from group of 5. Right? Deion Sanders, total anomaly coming from the FCS and getting hired in the Power 5. But there's 2. Who's this? Jamie Chadwell. That's group of 5 to group of 5. That doesn't count. Matt Rule. Going to there, but he's coming from the NFL. Doesn't count. He's not coming from the group of 5. Hugh Freeze, 3. But he has previous head coaching experience is what I said. He has previous Power 5 head coaching experience. So he doesn't count. It's just 2 right now, coming from the Power 5. Tom Herman going down or coming off from TV. Kenny Dillingham, prime example of what I was talking about, okay? A guy that's an offensive coordinator in the Power 5 gets a head coaching job. So that's 1. These are the guys they hire. This is how you become a head coach. Ryan Walters, defensive coordinator at Illinois in the Power 5, getting hired by a Power 5 school. There's 2. That fast. The other 2 guys that you have over here are Luke Fickell and Deion Sanders. Such an anomaly when the norm is this right here. G.J. Kinney, that's FCS going to group of 5. No big deal. FCS going to Power 5. Troy Taylor, there's another special occasion, and it's cool. There's 3. Eric Morris, He's going from coordinator, and he's taking a job at North Texas, which normally doesn't happen. But the reality is he was a coordinator for 1 year, and he's actually coming up from the FCS, where he was the head coach at UIW before G.J. Kinney. Okay? And he's just going back to a state he's very comfortable with. So that's a different circumstance altogether. Kevin Wilson, the new head coach at Tulsa, he's leaving. He used to be the offense coordinator at Ohio State. He's taking a step down. That's what he wants to do. UNLV, now defense coordinator at Arkansas, Barry Odom, but he used to be a head coach. He used to be a head coach in the SEC, and now he's going to be a head coach in the Group of Five. More power to him. Got your head coaching job? Being a defense coordinator in the Power Five. At Mississippi State, I'm sorry. Taking a step down, Alex Golesh, from offensive coordinator, going to head coach at USF. He just wants to run his own program. Defense coordinator, that's Group of Five. Louisville to Cincinnati, it's a lateral move because Cincinnati's now a Power 5 school. Shout out to Brent Key, going from an offensive line position at Alabama to now the head coach at Georgia Tech. Biv Poggi, he's finessed himself into a job. Good for him. Offensive coordinator going to head coach. Running back, this is the craziest one. Running backs coach to head coach. Running backs coach to head coach. Offensive coordinator at NC State, going to get Coastal. And a high school coach. But look who the high school coach is. It's Trent Dilfer. But a high school coach going to the Group of Five to be a head coach. That normally doesn't happen. And that's what they gave the grade a D. It's Trent Dilfer, though. And they fired a really good coach in Vincent. Vincent was their interim head coach at UAB, and he did really well. But look, you can say it's 50-50. You can say you don't agree, but I know what the tendencies are. I study this. I literally study this. So if we go back, 2022, who did they hire? Once again, Sonny Dykes, head coach. He moved up. He was a head coach at SMU. Did my camera just freeze on me? I'm sorry, guys. Let me double check something. Here we go. Brian Kelly, just coming over from Power 5 to Power 5. Lincoln Riley, Power 5 to Power 5. Kalen DeBoer. I think he came over from Fresno State. Yeah, Fresno State. So he moved up. There's a special occasion. Mike Elko, defensive coordinator at A&M, moved over to Duke. Freeman, defensive coordinator, moved over to head coach. Jim Mora, just a bounce-back job. Good job. Dan Lanning, where was he at? He was at Georgia. Moves over. Coordinator, positions coach, moves over. John Summerall, shout out to you, John. I hope he does his thing. Jeff Tedford, good coach, Fresno State. He's just taking a job before he retires. Billy Napier, there's a rare occasion where it happens again. Jerry Kill moved down. He just wanted to take a day off. Jake Dickert, moving over. This is a coordinator from Fresno State. Rhett Lashley, offensive coordinator from Miami, got the head coaching job. Jordan McGuire, linebackers coach at Baylor, gets the head coaching job. Clay Helton, bounce back job. Brent Venables, defensive coordinator, gets a head coaching job. McIntyre, former great head coach, and he's now at FIU. That was the coach of the year in 2016 at Colorado. Jay Norvell, former head coach, and he's just moving over. It's a lateral move. Good for him. Cristobal, bounce back job, but he's a former head coach. Desmaru, I don't remember where he was at before. Where was he at before? I don't remember. It's not in there. Joe Moorhead, he's not doing well at Akron. So I proved my point. If you want to be a head coach of Virginia, got to be the offense coordinator at Clemson. It's just the way they do things. Or be an all-time great hero at the university like Timmy Chang. That's a joke, by the way. Don Brown, defense coordinator, moved down to UMass. There's my boy Brian Vincent. He's good. Now he's the offense coordinator at New Mexico. Like him a lot. Ken Wilson, doing his thing. Ken Wilson, I like him a lot. Former linebacker coach at Oregon. All right, so we got some picks here. Sorry, guys. Sorry for that long tangent about nothing. We got some picks here. Keontae George out of Baylor. He's headed to man, my camera froze on me. Sorry about that. I'll just leave it up like that. It's cool. Keontae George out of Baylor, headed to the Jazz. And then the Lakers got a guy, Jalen Hood Schifino from Indiana. I looked at his name earlier today, and I just thought, that's a weird name. Who's going? Those two names don't go together. Hood and Shafino. I don't think he knows his dad, though. All right, let's go back to the talk here. I do like John Summerall. Opinion on parents making kids single sports specialists at a young age and not trying multiple things. Chris Baxter, I don't care. Parents are going to parent the way they want to. You know, some people force their kids to go to church because they think they know what's best for them. They force their kids to eat their vegetables and meat. You force your kids to do whatever it is you want them to do. They're your kids, man. They're your creation. Do what you want with them. I won't tell you what to do with your kids. Don't tell me what to do with mine. So if you make your kids a single sport athlete, shout out to you. Good for you. Don't care. I really don't care how people are raising their kids. I actually don't want to feed starving kids. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm not that guy. I don't care. Have you already spoken about the Titan imploding? The submarine. I'm curious on what you think was the sound the sonar was picking up. Al Green, I didn't hear any sound. But I don't really care. That's literally not on my list. Those people are dust, bro. They're dust. Thoughts on okay. Rip Rap. Here's my thoughts on that person. That person, along with any of their friends, are gender-confused, pimple-faced teenagers, dude. I'm not worried about them. They're nothing to me. They're minions and always have been. I'm the real deal. Yeah, I go to Dutch Fork. We played St. Francis last year. We lost 26-7, our first loss in about 6 years. We've been playing national teams as of recent. Just wondering what we were looking at. Okay, yeah, Chromes. If you're playing a pretty good team in Colquitt County. Shout out to Emery Bates, a knucklehead, but could be the steal of the draft tonight. Lawrence Collins. I haven't seen him get drafted. Let me check my mock draft and see where I have him. I created a mock draft and sent it to ESPN. Let me see where I have him. What's his name? Emery Bates. Did anybody see Bates on the list anywhere? Let's see where I have Bates. I put all these logos on here. I did their ages. Emery Bates doesn't look like a steal in the first round for me. Let's keep looking. I like Sasser the most, guys. Sasser looked like a real basketball player when I watched him in the tournament. Oh, his whole career, really. Oh, they don't have your boy getting drafted. They don't have your boy even being drafted. He's not even on the list. You're out here guessing. They got Oscar way back here. You're out here guessing. He ain't no steal. Somebody drafts him, it's a reach. Oh man, we got tears. We got tears at the draft. Tears. He's pissed, bro. He's pissed. Jordan Hawkins and Angel Reese. Okay. I don't like Angel Reese, by the way. I'm not a fan of Angel Reese, just so we're clear. I don't care what anybody says. I don't even think her game is nice. I don't like Angel Reese. Yo, Rico, that 4x4 men's USA team is beyond fast. Elijah Godwin is great at the first spot, going to win a lot of gold. So Walker Colt, no. The 4x4 relay team for America is amazingly deep. It's one of the best out there every single year. That World Championship team last year was amazing. They won the title by a huge margin. But you got to remember, it's all about what shape the runners are in right now. And right now, Elijah Godwin is not in the top 10 in America. He's not in the top 10. So when we have our U.S. trials coming up, U.S. championships, to figure out who's going to be at World Championships, I don't see Elijah Godwin even making the relay to begin with. Okay, he was in great shape last year. He ramped up perfectly. But everybody needs to remember what track is about. And what track is about is peaking at the right time with your training. And Elijah Godwin is not peaking at the right time. He just doesn't look very good. So, no, I don't see him starting on that relay team. And if Michael Norman doesn't get himself together, he might not be on the team either. He's been running like terrible. It's late in the season, early in the season. I don't know what you want to say. Hey, Jaime Jaquez just went to the Miami Heat. This mock draft that this dude created is so accurate. It's easy to be accurate in the NBA mock draft, by the way. But it's so accurate compared to Mel Kiper's nonsense. I like whatever this guy did. Even though he put no stats in there, he got it right again. So Jaime gets drafted 18th out of UCLA, going to Miami. Mi gente, he's going to be around his people. He'll be real endearing to the Cuban community down there in the Puerto Rican community. I don't even know what Jaime is or where he's from. Where Barberin at? I don't even know what you're saying. Do you think Pell City will have a good season? Not necessarily. I don't know who their players are. I don't know their schedule. I don't have a clue. Do you know about the freshman Jalen Hale at Alabama? Yeah. There you go. Yeah. What's good with Cam Whitmore? What do you mean? He got drafted. He got drafted, right? Or he hasn't been drafted yet. He's still on the board? Holy smokes. No way. Is he slipping? I've got the audio down. I don't ever listen to anything they say on these channels. They thought Cam was going to go. What do they got on him? What happened? Over the past several days, there's been a bit more uncertainty among teams surrounding Whitmore's eventual landing spot in the top 10. He's been viewed as a strong option for the Pistons at number 5, but the feeling right now is that he may be ticketed for the 6 through 9 range. In this scenario, with Orlando, Indiana opting, who is known to have international support, This pick will be the first step in Washington's rebuild. Okay. Wow, they got this wrong. They had him number 8 going. He's still on the board. Damn, Gina. I might have to make a video on it. Cam Whitmore dropped in the draft. Let's see why. Why is he dropping, bro? He's dropping like the submarine. He's dropping like a submarine. Are the Warriors going to take Whitmore right now? Hit the like button, y'all. Thank you very much. Are you familiar with the outside linebacker that was drafted by New England from Sacramento State? I saw his highlights, and he looks for real. Your thoughts on him? Al Green. His name is Marty Mappau. He's not an outside linebacker. He's a safety. But they're going to move him to inside linebacker or outside linebacker. I don't care. Marty Mappau. If you want to know what I think of Marty Mappau, I want you to do this, Al Green. Do a search for hashtag Rico Knows, hashtag Patriots. Find the draft. I did a draft special on them, so that's number 1. Then next, I want you to do a hashtag Marty Mappau on TikTok. You just go into TikTok. You just go like this. You go to the top bar. You say TikTok like that. 1 second. Oh, no. I accidentally got off the page. Sorry about that. You guys are still here. I accidentally hit the page. It's going to make me watch a commercial, I'm sure. Never monetize your own stuff. Give me a second here, guys. Sorry about that. All right. So the guy who asked about Marty Mappau. You go up here like this. Hashtag Marty Mappau. Boom. All one word. Marty Mappau. And you'll see the first video I made back in March on Marty Mappau. And that'll tell you how I feel about him. And that's real. And you'll know what I'm saying. Just so you know, before you go watch all the videos, I call Marty Mappau a future Hall of Famer. I don't need to see highlights from his time at camp. I watched his games at Sacramento State and said that is the best safety in the draft. And Bill Belichick agreed with me and drafted that man in the 3rd round, one of the top safeties taken in the draft. This is an FCS level player, and everybody listened to me. They watched my channel and said, oh my God, Rico Knows likes him. We're doing what he said, and they took him early. Shout out to Bill Belichick for hearing me out. Georgia schools up north, recruit or metro area, looks somehow, yeah. Coaches have their players help them in the harsh reality competitive Georgia basketball. So Colin Roberts, different sports do different things. For the state of Georgia, it's pretty simple. If you live outside of the school boundaries, you can pay a fee and still go to that school. The fee is different. Usually you pay that fee before you get into high school, so some of the players can do it in middle school, and you just pay the $900 fee. Sometimes it can be up to $1,500 fee. It all depends on what school it is. Now, some of the schools in the inner city, some of the schools in the Buford area, the Grayson area, these schools, Parkview, all of them, they're all extremely popular schools that people want to go to. So there's a waiting list to get to those schools. And that waiting list is really long. And for some reason, if you're a star player and a very good athlete, you go to the top of that waiting list. And then you can attend the school. Pay the fee and attend the school. Now, does the school pay the fee? Probably. Does somebody else come up with the money? Probably. But these star players, for some reason, they get to the front of these lines. And you can use those waiting lists to kind of manipulate what classification you play in. Because the number of players you get from outside of your school boundary, there's a multiplier applied. And that multiplier then determines your classification or your overall enrollment. It increases it by the number of students you have outside of your district. But the reality is in the state of Georgia, no matter where you live, you can go to a school, any school you want to go to, for a fee. And that's how that works. There's more to it, but that's essentially it. I'm breaking it down for you guys. Shout out to me for knowing all that. Hit the like button, y'all. Thank you very much if you're hitting it. You think Pell City will win? Malik Watts, I don't even know who plays for Pell City. Thoughts on Cam Whitmore? He went from top 5 out of the lottery. So Barack Obama, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for all that you ever did in your life. Thank you for not picking more brackets. So Cam Whitmore was not supposed to be top 5. I just saw him on a mock draft at top 8, top 10, 6 through 9. But still, the point is, we're now at pick 20, and the Rockets might be taking Cam Whitmore. There might be an injury concern, a character concern. I hope he's not in the green room. Is he there? Is he sitting at a table right now? Is he sitting there looking terrible? Is he wearing some? Is this man wearing Ugg boots? Is this kid wearing Ugg boots? Are these the twins? Are these the brothers? These are those brothers, right? They're actually related when I say brothers, like relative brothers, and that's their dad. Yeah, the Thompson twins. They're wearing Ugg boots, bruh. They're wearing Uggs. They look like wedges. Suspect, bruh. They ready for that. They ready for that. Where they went to the Dwight Howard School of Dressing, bruh. They following Dwight Howard's template. Dwight was like, yo, put on these shoes. They look great. And Russell Westbrook barged in and was like, no, you got to wear a dress. You should wear a dress and call it a toga or a kilt. Dude's out here wearing skirts. Did you make a video on Brandon Miller? No, I'm not glorifying that nonsense. It's pronounced like hockey's. What is? Oh, Jaquez? Jaquez? Jaime Jaquez? Barack Obama. Mi amo Rico. What's up, bro? His name is Jacquez. Yup. His name is Jacquez. And I bet you're a big fan of jalapenos. I bet you like quesadillas. Try to correct me, bruh. It's Jamaica. What was the kid's name who you broke down? He was arguing with the Ole Miss, blah, blah, blah. Want to watch his film. His name is Lee. Go back and watch the tape. Khalil Lee? I have it saved on my favorites. Check that list again. Emory Bates out of Eastern Michigan. Dude, he's not on the list, bro. Emory Bates is not getting drafted. This list is so accurate. Emory Bates is not getting drafted. He's not on the list. Eastern Michigan. He wasn't on the list at all. I'll look at it again. I'm looking. I could do a Control F on it if you want me to. Emory Bates, Eastern Michigan. I'm looking in these little dashes right here. I'm not looking at the highlights. I'm looking in the dashes for Eastern Michigan. In the dashes. Right here. In between these little brackets. Eastern Michigan. Remember, you can't read it as fast as I do. I'm a computer, bro. I'm a computer. I go faster than all you guys. I read and retain faster than everybody. Nothing. Your boy not here. Hey, and Brandon went to Golden State like they said he would. Dude, this draft is accurate. Your boy is going undrafted. Imani Bates is going to be in the next Professor video dressed up as Batman, beating people in one-on-ones. He's not getting drafted. LSU just won against Wake Forest while the draft is happening. Yeah, because no one cares about LSU winning a baseball game against, what was it, 2-0? Was it riveting shit? Was it a safety to 0? All those batters went out there and didn't even play well. Every batter went out there and went crazy. What's the farthest you've ever punted a football? Aiden Greenway, the farthest I've ever punted a football, probably about 45, 50 yards. Probably about 45, 50 yards. I can punt a ball. I can throw a football 50 yards. I can punt a ball 50 yards. Yeah, 45, 50 yards. I'm not a great punter, but I'm definitely better than anybody walking around. Rico, any advice for my son? Will be starting varsity this August. He's a receiver. He's 5'7", 160. He is stressed about offers and rankings, class of 2027, incoming freshman. Okay, so Mr. K, no matter how your son plays on the field, it will not matter. How your son plays on the field will not matter. What will matter to get your son an offer and to get offers? There are 3 boxes you need to check, okay? And besides the metrics and everything else, because you can have the metrics and not do these 3 boxes correctly. So number 1, your son needs to create a Twitter account. Create a Twitter. Keep it clean. Keep it sports only. Just have him follow coaches. Have him follow universities. Make a Twitter account. On the Twitter account, have his height, his weight, his GPA, his position, his location. Okay? And a link to his Huddle film. Now, you guys need to go ahead and record all the games. Get them all loaded up into Huddle. And make a Huddle tape after every season. You got to learn how to do that. Go to YouTube. They'll teach you how to make a Huddle tape. Go to YouTube, type in how to make a Huddle highlight. There's tutorials. They walk you through it all. So you got to have a Twitter. Number 1. Number 2, in the off season, you need to go to camps. Most camps are in the June timeframe, May after spring ball, right? So May, June, July timeframe. Go to university camps. All the schools near you. Go to all of them. Go to NUC camps, NUC camps, NUC. Look it up. NUC camps. Go to Under Armour camps, go to Nike camps, go to Adidas. Look them all up, but you need to go to camps. Camps is where they take your picture. This is how you get on the recruiting websites. So you want to go to camps. You want to have a website. You want to have a social media account. Those are the 2 big ones. And then he'll register with the clearinghouse in the near future. But those 3 steps are what everybody's missing when they're trying to get an offer. First thing I ask them, are you registered with the clearinghouse? No? You can't even take visits. No one can talk to you. What are we doing? Know your GPA? Nope. Okay, you're not really ready for this. And now he doesn't have to do this alone. Every high school should have some type of recruiting coordinator, whether it be the head coach or some other coach on staff. But you can do this. But those are the big steps that people are missing. Make a damn tape, have a Twitter, and go to camps. Now, the rest of it you have to do. You got to run a certain 40. You got to lift weights and get bigger, faster, stronger. Go out and kill it on the field. But if you rush for 1,500 yards your senior year in high school and you think anyone watched you do it, you're wrong. No one watched you do it. No one cares that you did it. You're not going to get an offer. You're going to end up walking onto a JUCO. That's exactly what happened. You're going to go to JUCO because you got no offers because no one saw you. And you're going to walk onto the JUCO and hope that somebody notices you. And you're going to try to tell them what you did once upon a time. And no one's going to care. Twitter, highlight tape, ball out, go to camps. Got to go to camps. Pay the money. It's $160, $200. I don't care. Travel. Do a search for every university within your area. Every single college has camps. Every single one of them. They're doing their camps. Go. I know guys. I was looking at a guy just the other day. He's at a JUCO right now. He says, Rico, how many camps I got to go to? I said, go to as many as you can. You know what he did? He went to Sacramento State, UCLA, Cal, Fresno State. He went to 4 camps in the last 2 months. and balled out and did everything he was supposed to do. He went to 4 camps in the last 2 months. Still doesn't have an offer, but he went, and he got exposure, and he got on the list, and he got the names. Do your thing. Do you have any insight of NFL offices used for breakdowns when making decisions? Yeah, Chris Baxter, I've gone over it before. I do have scouts, NFL scouts that follow me, and we correspond in our DMs. They've given me some of their resources, but here's what I'll say. Some NFL teams outside of the scouting departments, sometimes they can't look at everybody in the draft, so they will hire a third-party company of scouts that will then put together a package and give it to them. And I know some guys who work for those companies. So, yeah, I know how they break down and make their decisions, yes. And this is why my NFL draft rankings at the cornerback position were mirrored to how they were drafted in the NFL, as opposed to what all the mock drafts were talking about, or like why I said Emmanuel Forbes was going to go ahead of Christian Gonzalez, things like that. Like, you just have to understand there's a certain way of going about things, and these TV personalities don't know it. They're not even digging that deep. They don't care. They just want to go out and say something for the masses, right? So they're going to go, oh, there's going to be 7 guys from Georgia being drafted. And I'm going, what? What? What are you talking about? Did you show Drew Timmy some love in your mock? No. Drew Timmy, go back to Gonzaga. Yes. This draft class is horrible. So is the NBA. I didn't watch a single NBA Finals game. That's how horrible the NBA is. Cam Whitmore just went off the board, y'all. Cam Whitmore is finally drafted. He went drafted 20th. Oh, my God. I'm looking at Jalen Hood, Shafino, now a Laker. This man is wearing a green suit. He looking like Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog. Where's Miss Piggy, bruh? I know you like him big. Where's Miss Piggy? Kermit the Frog, bruh. You don't wear green. Not when you look like this, dude. Hey, I would say he looks like Gumby, but I don't think half y'all get the reference. This man looks like Gumby. All right, he looks like Gumby. If you don't know who Gumby is, we can't even break bread together, bro. Like, we can't even be around each other if you don't know who Gumby is. For whoever the person who keeps mentioning Pell City, they will continue to be a punching bag until Rush can buy some players. Probably true. They play in the toughest classification in Alabama. Probably true. I only said top 5 because Detroit was eyeing him heavy for weeks. Oh. Well, he went 20th. 20th. And I don't think the Rockets wanted him. They just took him because he's the best pick at this point. That's how that goes. With Deion Sanders being the most recent FCS head coach jumping to head coach of an FBS program, who is the next FCS coach? Okay, so Deion is not the most recent. Troy Taylor got hired after. Troy Taylor at Stanford is the most recent. Number 1. And I personally don't know of any other FCS coaches right now off the top of my head that are poised to make the jump up. I know some FCS teams that are coming to the FBS, but I don't know of any FCS coaches that I think, right off the top of my dome, are in line for an FBS job. They're going to have to make a run for it. Like, if Southern Illinois wins the national title, then there's going to be a move there. Trust. Mainly because I'm expecting Indiana to get fired. So you need a coach from that area. I'm expecting Indiana to fire Tom Allen. Imani, not Emory. Nah, hey, Lawrence Collins, it's Emory, bro. It's Emory Bates from the Bates Motel. It's Emory Bates. This dude didn't think he was getting drafted by the Lakers. He wouldn't have worn green. You want to match with your hat. Who do you think he thought he was going to the Jazz? He thought he was going to Utah Jazz. You don't wear green if you're going to get drafted by the Lakers. I'm just saying. What up, Rico? What up, PJ Nelville? They don't know Gumby. I'm telling you, Eric Gonzalez, they don't know Gumby. They don't even know them Gumby fades. Gumby, Pokey, they don't know what's up, man. Punk-ass kids, bro. I can't even mess with them. Also, Detroit was looking at Emory Bates for the 31st pick. Sorry, bro. I'm a huge Pistons fan. Oh, that's okay, Barack Obama. He's not getting drafted. At all. He's not getting drafted at all. He's not on the mock draft. He's not getting drafted. The horse. Hey, that's my nickname. That's what they call me. That's what the ladies call me. That's what the ladies call me. They call me the horse. All right, so while we got some downtime, we caught up in the chat. I want to show you guys something. I had this up for something to talk about. Now that we got some downtime. You see these three guys right here? This is incredible, by the way. Okay? This is absolutely incredible. These are the leading passers in the USFL for the regular season. Case Cookus, they call him the chef, Alex McNoe, and McLeod Bethel Thompson. Now, you guys got to know this. What is Gumby? A kid said, what is Gumby? I knew it, man. I knew it. So, Case Cookus right here. They call him the chef. Case Cookus is 6'4", 205. He's played on like 10 different teams. He's fragile. He breaks himself all the time. But he just led the league in passing. USFL. Guys, I remember him as a freshman at Northern Arizona, NAU. He threw for 3,000 yards as a freshman. 37 touchdowns. He wins the Jerry Rice Award for the best FCS freshman in the country. Okay? Then the next 2 years he gets injured. Some things go wrong. But this man threw for 12,000 yards in his college career. Case Cookus. 12,000 yards. Like Sam Hartman status. 105 touchdowns. I think 21 interceptions. Great. His final season, he threw for 4,000 yards. Case Cookus can play some football. He was just on the Rams practice squad. They just let his contract expire. They drafted Stetson Bennett. But I'm telling you, Cookus can play some football. Now, he was actually in the championship game last year for the USFL, and he broke his leg. He broke his leg in the title game, I think. Somewhere around there. Last year for USFL. So Cookus has another year. Back-to-back. Great year. Think he's an NFL caliber player. I like him a lot. Then there's Alex McGuff, because he's tough. Alex McGuff, 6'3", 215, out of FIU, Florida International, was a 7th-round draft pick for the Seahawks, I think. Was it the Seahawks? And he used to play for them, and he was playing in the NFL for a little bit. But, guys, he has been playing lights out. Listen to this. It's a 10-game season, by the way. When you see these stats and you're like, oh, that's not a lot. It's only 10 games. 10 games, 2,500 yards. He also had 400 yards rushing. Alex McGuff, the guy in the middle. 403 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. What? This man is running the rock. Do you know what his touchdown to interception ratio is? It is 20-5. 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Alex McGuff. That's a beast, bro. 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, his ratio. That's amazing. That's I'm going to go there. Anybody think that that's NFL worthy against the USFL? I just need to know. He's the backup? He ain't the backup. He's the starter. Second in the whole league in passing. He started. He was the backup last year. He ain't the backup anymore. They're keeping him forever. Don't get it twisted. Now, as interesting as all those guys are, nobody comes close to McLeod Bethel Thompson. McLeod Bethel Thompson, I know Jamar Smith got hurt. I know. Jamar Smith ain't here no more, bro. Not at 20-5. 20-5? You better ask. McLeod Bethel Thompson, though. This is the story of all stories. You guys want to talk about a late bloomer? I'm going to make a video on McLeod Bethel Thompson. I'm making a video on him. This man is 34 years old. 34 years old, and he finished 3rd in the league in passing. This guy, 6'4", 220, I remember when he came out of high school, he went straight to UCLA. Straight to UCLA, doesn't play much, transfers from UCLA down to the FCS level, He went to Sacramento State. Shout out to Marty Mapow. And he's at Sacramento State, and he don't do shit. Excuse my language. He didn't do much. He was the starter for like 3 years, but threw for like 1,300 yards. Something terrible. Nothing good. Nothing good. Been in the NFL. You know, he's been on 15 different professional teams. This is a guy who's been playing in the professional ranks since 2010 for a very long time. Never been good. I want you guys to go look up McLeod Bethel-Thompson and what he did when he finally got to the CFL. Yes, he's won 2 Grey Cup championships. But people don't know. He won 2 Grey Cup championships, but people don't know how terrible he is. He was the backup quarterback when they were winning these championships. He finally started this last year. And they offered him $500,000 to stick around for one more year. One more year in the Canadian Football League. And he turned it down to come play in the USFL. Because he has a dream of playing in the NFL. I don't know. He could have played in Canada for $500,000, and he turned it down. He don't need the money. He's been playing forever. He's been getting paid something every year. This is an old-ass dude. And he's never been good until this year. In the last 24 months, he has all of a sudden become really good. How? The ultimate late bloomer, bruh. I think it's fascinating. I'm gonna make a video on it for sure. Ultimate late bloomer, like you wouldn't believe. He starts playing great football at 32 years old. It's never too late, but my goodness, has it been too late for so long. And then for me to see him as the 3rd best passer in the USFL is just crazy. I'm telling you guys, he was not a starter in any league anywhere for a long time. And he's not played good football since he was a high school quarterback in 2005. Yes, 2005. This is a dude been playing as long as Aaron Rodgers. Like that type of stuff, y'all. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So that was the last thing I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm trying to get through this first round, but my goodness, they're taking forever. Noah Clowney. The Nets got back-to-back picks. They picked 21 and 22. They just took Noah Clowney from Alabama. Shout out to them. Shout out to me. Let's go back to the questions here in the chat, and we'll see what's up. The horse. Hey, Stephanie Vance showed up. Stephanie Vance, what up, Steph? Good to see you. What is Gumby? Oh, Chromes doesn't know who Gumby is? I knew it, y'all. Hey, you could tell the kids in the room, just make a reference they don't even know. Just be like, all right, man, whatever, dude. You don't even know. Why are you out here talking like Kit? Just say, why are you talking like Kit? They won't know what you're talking about. Just start just sitting here. Just be, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, big bucks, big bucks. They won't even know what you're saying. You just start making references they got no clue about, bruh. Goodbye. Man, Alabama's first 3 games are so easy. Florida Tech, Colorado A&M, and then Northwestern Wyoming State. Are we talking about the football team? What a cakewalk. My Diplomats have a much harder schedule. I don't know what we're talking about. I love it, Rico. Have a good night, bro. Thank you, Barack Obama. Tell Michelle I said what's up. I could take it from you. He's the backup. Yep. McGuff came out and played, bro. He's the starter now. Bro, PJ Neville, I don't know what schedule you're looking at. Thank you very much. Don't forget my Jarvis Green video. Chromes, you got it, man. But when the next time I see you, you got to tell me who the hell Gumby is. You got to tell me who Gumby is. Rico, what are your thoughts on an uprising situation with the Appalachian State cornerback, David Concetta Goddard? I don't know anything about this. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to look into it. Have you looked at Jake Shinsho? Oh, man, you guys give me some real names here. 3-star out of St. Pius. I just say St. Pius. That's what I say, St. Pius. Committed to Troy. No, I haven't had a chance to look at him. 2005. Pope. Rico, what do you think about Christian Driver, son of former Packer great Donald Driver? I think he's a sophomore, but I'm not sure. I don't know about Christian Driver. I'll have to look into him. Thank you. I'm going to go do my Gumby research. Careful. Careful, you won't know what the hell we're talking about. I promise you. You'll be like, what is this claymation? What is this claymation I don't know about? This is crazy. All right, next pick was Dariq Whitehead. Dariq Whitehead out of Duke, shooting guard. There's another Duke player drafted. What up, Rico? What up, Ryan Bell? You tell me, man. It's the end of the first round. I'm getting ready to end this damn live stream. I didn't expect the draft to go this slow. I ain't trying to be here till 11 o'clock at night. You guys can watch the draft by yourselves the rest of the way. And let me know if you were right. I need to make some content anyways. I got to go make some videos. But it was nice seeing everybody tonight. Thank you guys for the questions and keeping it going. I'm literally going to just cut it. I don't even care. But it was nice talking to everybody. You guys are hilarious. Just remember, if you want to talk sports, don't talk to your friends. Because they don't know. But obviously, Rico knows.
When they come, and they will, they'll come for you.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Oh, I thought the beast had won it off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat, concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion, talking killing rappers. Then I hit my quota, and my train of thought is more a locomotive. Talking reason for it, I got locomotive. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex in a France tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit. I was powerful, but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist. Try not to change, but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up, they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one sign, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat-seeking missiles of hits, but other than me, I see no heat exists. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a Cold War, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature Iraq. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, now